Yeah, no, we not on the CP time. Yeah, we on time, child.
Mm-hmm.
We are on time. All right, so look, welcome to the show. Welcome to the channel. Do me a favor, like, share, comment, hit the bell to be notified. Do all of that YouTube stuff. And yeah, so we are doing something really different on this channel today. We're gonna be having a oh shoot, here come my kid. Listen, hold on, y'all.
Okay. Here's my sister. Stay still.
All right, so that's another thing. Let me give y'all a disclaimer. There's gonna be kids. You're gonna hear babies crying, probably. You're gonna hear my kids screaming. You might even hear the ice cream truck and some sirens, but it's okay. We all good, right? So hot. I could eat a bomb pop. Get a bomb pop, baby. Oh, Jesus.
I love bomb pops.
Oh my God, really? I just got a whole box of them from Target. So she can eat them all. Welcome in, Miss Toom. Shout out to Miss Toom. She's coming from Awesum's channel. Hey Mai, how you doing? All right. Hey, so without further ado, I am going to introduce my boy. Hold on, y'all.
I'm sorry.
All right. And we back. Okay. We back. What's up, Adriana? What's up, Time for Tea? What's up here for the tea? She is here for the tea, okay?
Right. What is the tea? What does that mean, Cheapo? What is the tea? What is the tea?
The tea, the news, the gossip,
okay.
We here for the information that you about to provide for us. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So boom, we're gonna let you give a brief little introduction. If you guys don't know, he was on the Kendra G show, looking for love. So let's hear from him.
What's going on, everybody? So my name is Awesum, and it's a pleasure to be with you all this evening. As Cheapo said, I was on the Kendra G show several months ago, and I had some modicum a modicum of success. I didn't do it hard. I didn't. Stop it. And so no, you don't tell Daddy stop. You stop. And so now I just would like to clear up a few things and make sure that people truly understand exactly who I am, what I stand for, why I stand for it, and give people an opportunity to ask me questions as you see fit. I'm an open book.
Okay, so awesome. The last we seen on the Kendra G show, you were living in a shelter, right? So what's the update on that?
Yes, we had our own place for about 2 months now. I was in there for about approximately six. Thank you. We were in there for about 6 months. That was obviously due to circumstances that were outside of my control. And at that point in time, you have to do what you have to do. So, and I didn't feel a way about showing my situation because I'm really that guy. So any woman that couldn't see past that would only just be short-sighted, and she wouldn't be someone that I would ever truly take serious in any way, shape, or form. Anyway, so in truth, let me say this: I have been homeless previously, but that was just you getting out the joint. You got to get yourself together right quick, and I've never been the type of guy to live off women or to live off family or something like that. I get out here and I'll make a way. And so, yeah, I've always experienced hard times and difficulties. I'm no stranger to them. I believe those things forge men, and it's important for men to go through hard times.
Okay. So they were saying that you were a little too far away, so I kind of made you a little closer, which means that now I'm like hella big in the camera, but it's okay. All right, it's okay. So he said that he's no longer in the shelter. Shout out to him. Him and baby girl are in their apartment. They've been in there for 2 months. That's what's up. So are you still working at the pizza place?
No. That's a great question. No, the pizza it actually shut down. There was something about some money and some mismanagement of funds. I actually showed up on a Monday, and They just said, don't clock in. Come to find out, the guy tells me, he said, man, the business is closed. No, Pumpkin, this is that. You don't throw things, Pumpkin. That's attitude. We're working on her attitude. I have no idea where she gets this from. No idea where she gets this from. And so, no, that was that. And then I began to work at another place. It's a swing spot. And also I had some women, they wanted me to train them, but there was some women and they wanted me to do some personal training type stuff, but I thought it was very nefarious. And besides, I don't really want to be involved in anything that could even potentially be, out of pocket, you know what I mean? Because that was something that I didn't want to get involved in. I think certain things are kind of cute. Hold on, Jim, you want a snack? You want some snack? Hold on, y'all. Give me 1 second.
All right, so we're gonna give him all right, so we're gonna give him a little minute to get the baby adjusted. So what I'm hearing is he got fired on his day off. Now let me stop playing.
Yeah, that's actually. Hey, Chico, yeah, that's actually. Yeah, yes, that's actually facts. I came in on the. I came. Well, it was actually my day to work, but
Okay.
everybody they just they said that they weren't gonna have anybody. Shout out to the chat, man. I appreciate y'all for being here. Y'all make sure y'all show Chico some love. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like and subscribe button.
Period.
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Send the cash out 4 times. Show some love, man.
All right. So they want to know how old is the baby?
Gizmo is 14 months. Gizmo is approximately 14 months.
Okay.
She had a birthday. Her birthday was July 6th. And that's my ex. She threw a hella party. She flew in town from Houston. She flew in town and really showed out for my daughter on her birthday.
So I seen the pictures, and I was
Yes.
gonna say that didn't look like no man's touch. That looked all woman. So
Yeah,
you had
that's
an ex.
facts.
Now, did you meet her from the Kendra G show?
I did. I did. She reached out to me. Yeah, she reached out to me, and I thought that things were going I like the direction of things, but then she got mouthy. She forgot. She forgot her place. So.
Oh, her place. All right, I'm gonna put that. I'm writing notes because y'all, I got a
Mhm.
terrible memory. Okay, so her place. So was this the one that got the bathing suit for Gizmo?
Yes.
So
Yes.
can you tell us that story? Like what happened with that?
Okay, great question. Well, before before we even came down, we talked about certain things that I believed in, and I don't believe in the over sexualization of children. I don't like it. I don't care what this world does, but Awesome has a set of rules that he abides by. So when I told her that I don't want my daughter in any two-piece bathing suits until she's about maybe 15, 16. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to see any two-piece bathing suits on my daughter. And so we had that conversation. It wasn't pertaining to her specifically. And so
Mm-hmm.
she bought her 3 bathing suits. I was in the hotel. I went to rest. And then I wake up, my daughter's in a two-piece. I said, I said, didn't I tell you that I didn't like two-piece bathing suits for my daughter? And she said, well, you know what I mean? I got 3 of them. Well, she had, well, excuse me, let me back that up. The first one she had, it was not two-piece. She bought her one for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I thought she thought it was some type of, you know what I mean, red carpet. And she bought all type of stuff. Fine, whatever. I stay out of females' issues.
Okay.
But when I told you, go ahead. You want to interject for a second?
No. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Okay. And so when I tell her, when I said don't buy my daughter no bathing suits that are two-piece, and she did it anyway, what that signal to me is a lack of respect. And so I knew at that particular point in time that she was challenging me, and so she was going to do things her way. So there was that was a huge point of emphasis for me, because I told you how important it was to me. It didn't matter what you think in that regard. I'm telling you, I don't play none of them games. I don't play them games that a lot of black people play, and I'm speaking about my people specifically. When they play these games about that's her little boyfriend at daycare, I don't play none of that game. I'm telling you, don't play with me like that unless you're trying to open up an ugly door. And so when she decided to do that, along with some other things. She had this. When I'm talking, she would continue to walk. Like, who do you think you talk? I don't talk to no woman's back. I don't talk to nobody's back. So what I realized is that point is she had forgotten who she was dealing with. So it's time for me to remind her. So I had to get rid of her.
Oh, so you say you had to remind her who she was dealing with. Like, what did that look like? Like,
That's a great question. You dealing with a beast of a man. You're not dealing with no cornball internet guy. You're not dealing with no guy who lacks masculinity, who lacks guts, who does not have the ability, who lets P control his life. You know what I mean? You're not dealing with that type of guy. You're not dealing with who any of these internet guru cornballs who say anything in order to gain the affections of women, these Derek Jacksons, but then they find out he done drug his own wife through the mud, and now this woman is losing her mind online. Bless her heart. You know,
yeah.
I despise men like that because you hide behind certain things, and you know what I mean. I've often learned long ago, cheapo, and I get it in the chat. If you if you never pierce the veil of the physical, you will never find the essence. You break the image, then you break your enemy, and I truly believe that. So everything I am is exactly who I am. That's why I can never be broken.
Okay. Okay. Cool. I want to get into like the basics, like the beginning, right?
Uh-huh.
If you don't mind.
Yeah.
And so like I'm just curious to know like what was your childhood like? Like
Great
as far
question.
as like your family dynamics.
Yeah, I had two parents, my mother and my father. I was born in wedlock, 1980, May 3rd, and my mother had a daughter previous to my father. My father should have never married my mother. You know what I'm saying? Because that took on the life of its own. And so my father had four boys. Yes, Pumpkin, you want another one?
So you say your dad shouldn't have married your mom because she had already had a kid?
Yeah, he made a bad bet. He made a
Okay.
bad bet. Yeah, he
Okay.
made a bad bet.
Okay.
I'll explain that. I'll explain that further. She never appreciated my father for the sacrifices. I Growing up, we lived in the same house all up until I was maybe 16. I started getting money. I was out. I never saw that crackhead low life that daddy of hers bring her one ice cream cone, bring her one pair of shoes, anything. My father provided for her as he provided for his own. He never got the respect that he deserved from my mother's family, right? They were always involved in something. There was a lot of rumors, there was a lot of innuendo, there was a lot of things that my father had to deal with that he would have never had to deal with his own children. And so with that came the ultimate that my father my father killed my mother in September 2006. And excuse me, I was in prison. I went to the hole. I got into a beef with a guy and stabbing him in the eye because him and his homeboy tried to get at me. Yeah, it's all for sure. And it was about a basketball game, really something very, very simple. And so I was in the hole in Berriga Max. I was in the hole in Berriga Max. It's as far north as you can get in Michigan. It's about an 8-hour drive. So it's so far north, you get Green Bay Packers games. You don't even get Detroit Lions games anymore. And
Right.
so I'm sitting there, and it was September 12th that I found out. And but come to find out that my mother's daughter played a role in it because she was playing my mother against my father, and my father buckled under the pressure that he was absorbing, and he could no longer take it, and he murdered my mother, and then he killed his own self.
Wow. And you said that happened in 2006?
Yeah, that was September 2006.
Wow.
Yes.
So okay, so we went to 2006, but like as far as like you growing up, as
Yes.
like I want to know like what was your relationship with your mom and dad like separately? Like what was like how was you with your mom? Like how was your relationship and then vice versa, with your dad?
Yeah. I didn't with my father. I didn't know what I had in my father. I grew up looking up the street guys. I looked up the guys who was getting money. I looked up to the guys that I could see. I didn't understand really truly what I had in my father until I was in prison. When I realized I'm looking up to these guys, however, I didn't have to look but 2 feet for the hero. That it's the person that keeps the lights on, that keeps food in your stomach, that cares enough to put you back in school when you're in trouble, and you know what I mean, that's there for you when you need them, and when you're getting in trouble you need to get bailed out of jail, and you know what I mean, and you stealing and you get caught stealing, and you know what I mean, and they got to come down to the stores to pick you up and things of that nature. And I had a lot of fear. My mother was very, very fear. My mother was the most dangerous person I've ever met, T-Bro. My mother did not play. She was a very, very serious woman. And she was probably the only person I ever truly feared. And I I juxtaposed that with the fear that I did not have for my father. And I wish that that role would have been different, because I believe I would have turned out differently because I didn't fear him. I didn't have that same reverence for him. And so this is what this, I believe all of these things have shaped me to be who I am now, looking back in hindsight.
So first, let me just say, my
Mhm.
condolences in regards to the loss of your parents. But as far as like how you say you wish you had the same reverence for your
Mhm.
father that you have for your mom, like why
Yes.
was it that you didn't reverence him? Like why did you not take that position with your dad? Like what was it about him, or that you didn't have this reverence for him?
I didn't see him as a true disciplinarian. There has to be a modicum of fear when you're a parent, especially a black man. Your children have to not only revere you, there has to be a level of fear that you inflict upon them, just knowing that if my daddy find out, Lord have mercy, right? Let me tell you how, one day, Chipo, let me tell you how afraid I was. I'll never forget. I'm in this lady named Miss Cheeseman's class. She really believed in me. And,
Okay.
I just couldn't behave, right? So I'm encouraged. I'm acting up. I'm acting a fool. I never forget. I don't remember exactly what I was doing, but I'll never forget. I looked up and I saw my mother standing in the doorway.
Mm.
It was as scared as I've ever been. And
Hmm.
so that level of fear, my father left a lot of disciplinary actions for my mother.
For your mama to do.
And so that's the role that he should have taken upon himself in the mantle. And in my opinion, he did the best he could because his father was never there for him. You know what I mean? His father was never there at all. And my father was a great man, but my father, Eric, was not perfect, right? And so with that, that's probably why I don't drink to this day. I'll sip some high end whiskey when I had the money and stuff like that, but you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean. I never indulged. I never smoked. I never did drugs. That was never my thing because I saw how that affects a man and his outlook on the world. He can be one individual when he does not have when he does not have that narcotic, and all of a sudden he's someone else. And so I've had very little respect for that, and I think that shaped me as well.
Okay. So that makes sense. Did you see him do anything else outside of that?
Well, no. Like I said, my father was a very good man.
Okay.
He was a sweet man. I'm not as sweet, and so life has hardened me. And so, but I believe that it was necessary. Excuse me, I don't like to say but. However, I believe that it was necessary in order for me to be what the Creator wanted me to be. In order for me to be able to absorb. What I'll say is this about me. I used to have the ability to dish out punishment, but I realized I was incorrect. I have the ability to absorb it. I have the ability to absorb it. And
Okay.
so that makes me different than most men because I can deal with the level of discomfort that he just wouldn't be able to tolerate. And these things are important because now you fast forward 45 years later, how could I do what I do for her on a day-to-day basis if I did not have the discipline and the will to push past being uncomfortable? Black men get more comfortable being uncomfortable. Awesome said that, dog.
Get more comfortable being uncomfortable.
Man.
Oh, period. So I was gonna ask, like, what was your first example of love and relationship?
Mhm.
So obviously that was your mom and your father, right?
Mhm. Yes.
So you watched him love your mom in like a really good way.
I did. They had it. They had it. They had their things. I'll never forget Cheapo. First of all,
Uh-huh.
I want y'all to know this. I don't know what Cheapo is gonna ask in this room, so this is very organic. She's just popping up with. So I'm just giving y'all the real. So this is. First of all, shout out to her for these questions. I'm 15 years old, and I had just left the house and I decided I want to get out, you know what I'm saying? Because I just got to get this money. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm from, guys is getting money, guys driving in 5.0s. Guys, this dude named Ricardo Lovelace pulled up on me in a brand new F-150 truck. He was a lame when we was in middle school. Now all of a sudden, it's like, okay, this is it, right? So my Uncle Duro owned this place called the Spy Shop. Anybody familiar with Detroit? It was on 7 Mile, right down the street from where I live. And they were selling electronic spy equipment, cell phones, and so forth. So this is early 90s. This is 94, 95. Anyway, it's a Saturday. I come over to visit. My daddy messing around with the sink. And somehow or another, my mother, he pissed about the sink. So I'm about to dip because I already know he's about to take it out on me. My mom's come in, and so I'm going to stay. Dad mad about the sink. He going back and forth with her. My mother standing up in his face. They yakking back and forth. But my daddy spitting when he talk. My mother just, she spit right in his face. He takes her face and mushes it into the linen closet. She knocks the whole linen closet down. I'm pulling her off him. So I saw them fight. You know what I'm saying? I saw them have different circumstances. My mother would always, she was a fighter. You know what I'm saying? She was, yes. Yeah. That actually, yeah. And so, but however, what I will say is this: when you, they've been with each other. My father met her when she was 12 and he was 15. And then when he come back from the service, my mother, as the story goes, came over to my grandmother's house like, hey, where you been? You know what I mean? And I want you. And dad, like, well, wait a minute, don't you? He like, hey, well, I want you. You're here now. And so that was that, right? And so that's kind of they've always had a love affair. Now I don't know anything about that type of love. I've never
Okay.
had that in my life, but they had that, and so I believe that one of the things that really forced my father to to he didn't want to live without his woman. They were together and he wanted them to be together in the end. And there's some people, let me say this, Chipo, because there's some people that say I blame my mother for that. No, I didn't blame my mother. You clearly are very unintelligent if you think that I would blame my mother for her own demise, for the death of
Yeah.
my for the death.
Uh-huh.
That's untrue. You're very unintelligent and you're very low vibrational. I blamed my father because my father made a bad bet in dealing with her because of her child. My mother was a great woman, but you see, that child that she had, he never, you don't know what your own seed. See, this is my seed, right? So when I'm sacrificing for her, El Cheapo, when I'm doing these things, when I'm staying in the homeless shelter, when I'm not getting haircuts, when I'm providing, when I'm giving her my last dollar, I'm doing it for my seed. This seed will appreciate that at some point. See what I'm saying? Whereas that other child has the ability to say, "That you ain't my daddy. I don't care what you did."
So you don't think the other child is capable of having that same appreciation, even though they're not a person's biological child?
Well, capable, yes, but likely is it likely? No. And here's the thing, I guess. Do you gamble?
No, I don't like to lose money.
Smart lady. What smart lady? Well, I've been a gambler and I would always hit on 16. Y'all, now
Okay.
some people would say you don't never let the money change you because because you're gonna play, you don't let the money change you. I've hit on 16. Now, some people would always say that's a bad bet, but I would always argue that I would rather cut my own throat than the dealer take my card and beat me. That was my mentality. That being said, what I have to ask myself as a man, is this or is this not a bad bet?
Right.
That's what I'm really dealing with in terms, especially with, and I'll tell you something else, Chipo, this needs to be addressed. There's a level of discipline and structure that I have for my daughter. So let's just say for a minute, hypothetically speaking, another young lady, I believe in yes, sir, no, ma'am, please, may I, thank you. I've seen so many children have the ability to say, yeah, huh, what, to adults. I don't play them games. So now here I am, new into this circumstance, but your child has been speaking this way for 5, 6, 7, 8 years. Now here I come in like, baby, can you talk to Nicole? Like, I don't agree with that. Well, that's how she talks. What do you mean? So she's supposed to talk to me any type of way? But she talks to you that way as well too. So now there's a comfortability there that I'm not comfortable with it. I like for children to stay in a child's place. I don't play children getting in to adult conversations and things. As y'all see Gizmo grow, you'll see how rigorous I am with these things and how much they matter.
Mm-hmm. So I was going to check the comments and go through them real quick, but first I want to get into the because I want you to, so because you said discipline and structure that you have with your child, and how going into another household, they might have practices that you don't agree with, you know, such as like they might not say yes sir, no ma'am, all of that, because my kids do it, so I get it. So that leads me to the conversation of you with Kendra G, when you told her that you were looking for a woman that didn't have children. Does that still stand?
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Well, let me say this. That's a great question. If if if, if her circumstance is this, if she is a divorced woman is different than a baby mama. A divorced woman is different than that. That's just the bottom line. That's the way it is. That's I didn't make the rules. I'm just the one who's going to recite them. And so what I deal with the woman what I deal with the woman, when I come into her life and try to change her life, and she's already made these poor decisions with this guy. And then so now, because here's the thing, Cheapo, this needs to be said.
Okay.
When I'm coming into your life, when I'm coming into that woman's life, I'm going to die for you.
Okay.
I cannot say that enough. That is my role as a man, and I accept that mantle. I don't run from that. So if I'm going to die for a woman, I don't want to be her second choice. And the majority of women wanted their children's father. That's the majority of women. That's the man that they wanted. They wanted him. So but since you couldn't have him, you'll accept who you can, which is, some sap or whatever you want to call it.
So Coach Berg said, why do men with children think they qualify for women with no children?
Great question, Coach Berg. Because we're different. Great question, Coach Berg. Because what's and I want you to hear this, Coach Berg, because you may be misunderstanding how the world views things and how or what the world is telling you versus what's actually happening. The truth of the matter is there's a burden of performance that is placed upon a man that he either accepts or he doesn't, right? And if he accepts his burden as a man, then yes, these options then that's the way that goes. I didn't create this. This isn't Awesum's idea. Like, I want to say this. These things have existed well beyond me. It's just that what happened was our women decided that, and the system stepped in, right? So they would begin, and then they our communities were destroyed from crack. Shout out to people don't know this. Oh, I got it. Get them on knocked. Oakland was the first place that understood freebase.
Okay.
Cocaine. And so these things trickled all across the country. The drugs, the opportunities that we were looking for in order to create wealth. And so through this, now these jails start to pop up. Black men were decimated. Our communities were decimated. And so our sisters were left in a lot of cases without men, without structure, right? And so they began to take on these. There was one woman on Kendra G that's got 5 babies by 5 men. We're talking about you looking for a new man. You got to be kidding me. Cheapo, you got to be kidding me, right? But see, here, in this world, in this bizarro world we live in, we think these things are acceptable, but they're not.
So Gotta Love Score said, how do you define a woman with children who has never married?
I just said it. She's a baby mama.
She's a baby mama, so
she's a baby mama. She erred in her judgment. Let me tell you, and I want to say this too, El Cheapo, chat. My daughter was a baby mama until her father got involved. She had 3 children with the same man. However, she only married that man in November of last year. So this is what happens. I told her the same. I'm not telling y'all anything that I have not told my own daughter, right? So now she is married, and I am so proud of her that she's taking these steps. But what we have to stop doing in our community is stop lying. We do too much lying. And these lies don't benefit us long term because we are the ones who are at the bottom of the socioeconomic totem pole. And we cannot get there with single mothers, baby mamas leading the way and boss roles. That's not how no community is made, and I don't care what nobody think about that.
So Coach Berg said if a man accepts a woman with children, he can't complain after the child acts the way he or she does. It's not his child.
Okay. Exactly, Coach Berg, and that's my whole point. Like you just, I don't know if you're disagreeing with me, but that's exactly my point. It's hard to come in and create structure for a child because here's the thing: that child has a certain way it's been doing things. That child may have been. Here's the thing, El Chipo. Let me tell you this. Hypothetically speaking, I get with a woman today. There's no, there's no. I can create the structure. I create the template for the way we move. She doesn't have to. If I say what it is, that's what it is. I don't want to have to go to another man to find out whether or not I can discipline a child that I ain't paying for. That's what I would have to do. Let's say for a minute your child's father is alive, or whatever the case might be, or she has uncles, or you know what I mean, or people were gonna feel away, cheapo. Let's just say for a minute you got brothers, you have uncles, aunts, grandfathers, fathers, whoever, people in your life. They're gonna be like, well, wait a minute, he can't discipline him or her or whatever the case might be. He don't have that right. But see, it's all good when I'm spending my money. See, when I was paying for private school and I'm doing this and I'm taking trips and it's all good. But as soon as it comes time for the structure, now therein lies the problem. I'm not a guy who's gonna sign up for that because it's a bad bet. Just a bad bet. That's all. It doesn't mean she's a bad person and she still has worth.
Right.
She had humility. A lot of women, they lack humility. Cheapo,
Right.
there's a level of humility that they lack. Need that.
So I'm not gonna hold you. In my last situation, that
Yes.
was definitely a conflict that came up because it was like, well, my daughter's dad would say like,
Yes.
On one hand, you want me to be the fun, stepdad and play video games with your son, but then on the other hand, when it's time to chastise or provide structure or say something to him, you don't want me to say nothing. So which one, like, what is it gonna be? Either I'm gonna be all of it or I'm not gonna be none of it. That was the and so it did bring a little wedge between us when I personally I just couldn't get with it. I ain't gonna hold you.
And Cheapo, the majority of women cannot get with it. See, here's the thing, and I'm glad you were woman enough and honest enough to share that with us, because a lot of women just don't want to admit that. They are nurturers by nature. So your job, your innate role is going to be one to protect your child, but we're never truly understanding that protection don't help nothing, especially when you're a black man, because there's the world, you cannot protect him from what's coming. You know what I mean?
Right.
His mother's love is not going to be enough. And so there you have it. You said it yourself. I won't. Chipo, can you read that comment though? There was a lady who just made a comment. I wanna
Yeah.
address.
When I highlighted real quick though, I just want to say though,
Yes.
I couldn't differentiate whether or not he was nitpicking with my son.
Yes.
Or really, trying to add value to the relationship. Mm-hmm. That was the fine line of where I was like on, like I was like, like when you trying to, like, I guess monopolize or police the refrigerator with juice, like to me, I feel like that's nitpicking.
Okay. It's funny you said that too, because I absolutely will monopolize the gizmo. You better get some water. You didn't have enough juice today. That's too juice. Like you drinking too much sugar. See what I'm saying? And so I get what you're coming. And I'm not just trying to be I'm not just trying to take the opposite position, cheapo,
right.
But I'm just being honest in terms of men have to be able to set these, because here's the thing. Our children, I've seen so many fat black children, it's crazy.
I'm
right?
screaming.
Say it again.
No, I said I'm screaming.
Okay. There's so many fat black children that are out here that it is insane. And nobody want to deal with that because they want to give them everything they want. They swipe this EBT card like they got a credit card. They go into these stores, they get sugary drinks. There's no they eat whatever they want to eat, and then when somebody mentions it to them, then now all of a sudden you got a problem. But you see, when a man comes into his life, when a man comes into your life, you have to be willing to allow him to take over and follow his lead. I told my own daughter this, Cheapo, and this is facts. I told my daughter, he's your leader. If that man tell you, I love Gizmo. I'm sure y'all know that. I'll never trust her. She's, you know what I'm saying? She's my daughter. I love her to death. If her husband on the very day once this man is vetted and he's qualified and he says we're moving to Alaska, you go with your husband. It's not your job to question his authority. He may see something that I don't. He may know something that I don't. So how can I dare usurp his authority because I don't like his judgment? This is our problem, Cheapo. We don't want no structure. We want all of the good stuff without without the things that make us uncomfortable. This is why our community suffers so. I can't hear you.
My bad. I had to mute because my kid came in. But okay, so I have a super chat. Freezy want to know, and this is going back, but he wanted to know, did you view your dad as like a weak man?
That's a great question. At one point in time, I did. Right? At one point in time, I did because I didn't see him as I swung on him, and he did like here's the thing. My father was a sweet man. He just that really he would have his moment. He would cuss, you know what I mean? This and third, but he wasn't a violent man. And so it wasn't until later on that I truly appreciated him. Shout out to No Cap, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate you. Yeah, appreciate you. You know what I mean, for the question. And so what I truly push on black men now is masculinity. It's understanding what you're supposed to stop listening to women. You guys got to stop listening to women. Stop getting caught up in these female talking points, right? Start to begin to recognize where you're weak at, and start to begin to address those areas. You chatty patty, you gossipy, you smack your lips when you talk, you text the letter K, you wear these little chains that are choker chains, you wear Crocs. You got to be a man, dog. You got to be a man or you got nothing. Cheapo, keep going. Excuse me, chat.
All right, yeah, go ahead. I'm trying to multitask too. Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm gonna read these super chat.
I'll be back, chat.
Period. All right, look, y'all. I don't know how y'all do this multitasking and saying hey to everybody and all that. But anyways, look, shout out to Mo Love for the $5 super chat. She said, shout out to Cheapo. Welcome in. Please support our beautiful host, period, Pooh. Listen, shout out to Mr. Fantastic. He said, for doing what you said you would, I'm hitting the shelter this week. Hey, we looking forward to that. Make sure you go live too, like JP. Shout out to, hey, look, let me check the cash apps, y'all. Shout out to Here for the Tea. She sent a $10 cash app and said, great show, sis. Thank you, Here for the Tea. That's my sis, Tizzle. And then shout out to Josh. He said for support. So I truly appreciate y'all supporting the channel. Listen, this is some good conversation, y'all. I don't even wear Crocs, but nigga can't wear Crocs. It do get crazy sometimes. What's up, JD? Shout out to the world class for coming in. This a period Pooh channel, period Pooh. I seen JT come in. What's up, JT? I don't know how y'all be reading these chats. They go by so fast. My God, today. Mike said that blended families are definitely hard. I think it takes two people that are willing to like compromise too. I'm not gonna hold you. That's my personal opinion. Shout out to Emperor. Emperor's from Detroit. That's where Awesum is from. Let me see. Tanaya, hey, I love this for you. Period. Is it gonna do the little hearts? I'll be trying not to laugh at the comments because he be talking so serious about stuff. Like, but the chat is insane. Like, and y'all know I'm silly as hell. Okay. But if Mr. Fantastic wants to know why you got an Easter suit on in the fall.
Shout out to Mr. Fantastic, man. That's cute. No, man, I like the color, man. That's all. I don't really recognize I don't celebrate European slave holidays.
But shout out to Awesome though. He does look nice, you guys.
Much
He
appreciated.
he always presents himself very presentable. But I didn't hear. Did you say you got a job now? Because I know you said you got, the other job got rid of you.
Yes, I was, but like I say, there was a situation with her caps, and I just stopped it this week. I'm doing this apprenticeship program. I'm trying to get involved in this sheet metal thing. So, you know what I mean? That's to be to come. You know, I have a test, and I don't want to speak too prematurely upon that. But if it's the
Okay.
kid as well, yeah, y'all will be hearing about something along those lines. Because anything I'm gonna do, I'm gonna win at. Anything I've ever done, I want to say this. I don't do a lot. Anything that I do really, really well. So I don't, you know what I mean? Like I'm not a guy who knows a whole lot. However, the things that I excel at, I excel pretty. I do really well at. So I would suggest all men, you know, what I'm saying, all black men start to try to shape themselves and get good at something. Hone your skills.
Okay. So I got a text. They wanted to know anonymously. They
Okay.
want to know why you can't discipline a child. Is it because you're not married to the mother? That's the question.
Well, here's the thing. She would set that. She said, see, here's the thing. You have that mother. You cannot. When I'm disciplining my child, nobody can tell me nothing, right? Because in the end, you still going to look at it and say, well, that is his child. You know what I mean? There's always going to be that, right? But however, when you disciplining someone else's child, or when you attempt to, let's just be honest, y'all. We have to be honest about things. And Chipo admitted it affected her own relationship. So it's not like it's just not a thing. People do not like children, people to discipline their children. They're going to look at you a certain type of way. It's just what it is. Right. And so I'm a man who was forged in fire. I'm a beast of a man. Ah,
I
that's
hate
me.
when he do that, y'all. Oh my god.
I know you do. I know you do. I'm a beast of a man. I'm not going to anyone else to, hey, I'm not having no sit down about no disciplinary actions that need to take place for children when we didn't have a sit down when it came time for me to buy clothes and shoes and feed and keep lights on, and we didn't have a sit down then. So now when it's time to discipline, you don't like the way I'm disciplining because it's too many. There's too much nuance there. There's too many things that I need to navigate through, and I'm a man's man. I'm not navigating through that.
So when it comes to a woman coming into your life with your daughter, how does that work? Are you allowing them to chastise your daughter?
Well, she would need to. Why? Because she got me. See, that's the whole thing, Cheapo.
But
I
what if she's
set
not
that.
around though?
Well, if there's ever a time when I'm gonna call your daddy, don't work, then that's my problem. You see what I'm saying? Because here's the thing. I set that. I set that bar. So if she's out of pocket, it's up to me to correct it and correct it immediately. But you see, once again, I'm already putting the groundwork in so that way when someone does come into her life, it's more palatable and that she understands that my daddy don't play with me. He's not, and nobody will ever disrespect my wife. Nobody comes before my wife under any circumstances. It's so you're not gonna disrespect my wife and think that you're going to get I'm still going to shower you with gifts and the pleasures that come from being my child, but you disrespected my wife. What type of man do I? When that woman gave me her hand in matrimony, then I became her leader and her protector. She said, "I'm with you for a lifetime. Don't nobody come in between that. Not her or nobody." That's
So
all.
the so the world class said our people don't know what discipline is. Y'all call child abuse discipline.
Sh- sh- y'all call child abuse this. Wait, say that. I want to get our people don't know what discipline is. Y'all call child abuse discipline. Oh, this 100%, big brother. It's 100% because here's the thing. I want to say this too. This needs to be understood because I'm talking to my people. I make my content for my people. The facts is this. What we want to do, they don't want what they want us to do. No other community does. Other communities discipline how they see fit. Black people are the ones who continuously run. Now, do I think that some things probably were a little, or some things are archaic? I mean, I remember being beat in the bathtub with stitching cords, but I also remember deserving it. I don't remember ever just I don't remember anybody just doing that to me just because, right? And then so there's that. But you're not gonna tell me how to discipline the very child that's under my roof when you white devils have the ability to do what you want to do with my child and they get down in your court system. Get out of my face. Black
Right.
men, stop listening to this cornball talk. Be men, and that's that.
Okay.
Thank you, Gizmo. Get back.
Period. Listen, shout out to JD for the $10 cash app. He said, for the show, you are doing great. Take your time.
This is
Thank you,
facts.
JD, because I am so nervous,
Excuse me.
guys. I'm still a
You're
little
doing
nervous.
great. You're doing great, Chico. You're doing great. I thought you would do. I thought you would fail miserably. That was my money. That's what my money
I
was.
know
I
you
thought you.
lying. I know you lying. Okay, wait. Okay, no captivity said, let's go. Damn them white devils. I like this guy.
This is. And listen. And let me tell you something. No, Captain. I talk like that to them. This ain't nothing I have not told them. I literally filed lawsuits in order to change conditions in prison. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I was fighting them people with a pen, a paper, and I would have beat them. The Fourth Circuit kicked it out because they cheated, lying white devils. They said that I was time barred for my appeal. But however, we were doing things through snail mail. So how did you even know when I was able to get the information that you sent me? But somebody pulled the plug on it and said, you know what, we gotta stop this nigga. He about to change the system. And he about to win. We gotta stop him. I just call them all kind of white devils. That's exactly what they is. And I tell them that to their face.
So Mo Love said kids can be exceptional without physical discipline. Do you agree?
Hey, you know what, Mo? Look here. You're light skinned, you're pretty. I can tell that. You probably have grown up with that pretty privilege. You know what I mean? So it's easy to say these things. I want to tell you this. And put it like this. There's nothing wrong with a measure of fear for adults and for there used to be a time, Mo Love. I don't know how old you are, but there used to be a time when communities would begin to galvanize around their children and they knew they couldn't do certain things because Miss Ann was see it, or the Mr. Charlie up the street. There was a certain time that there was a bit of a fear factor there, and now that's no longer the case. I believe the discipline is absolutely necessary, and I believe in it. And our community is out of order. So if we don't get our communities in order, then who's going to help us? Because everybody else benefits from us. So we playing these games, but everybody else is winning. It makes no sense to me.
So
Look,
so
hold
let,
on.
so let me ask you a question. Are you red pill?
I don't even know what that means. What the hell does that even mean?
I don't know. I thought you knew. You
Tipo,
don't
I
know what?
swear to God, Tipo, I've heard it, but I
Uh-huh.
don't. Black pill, red pill. I have no idea. I know it's got something to do with the Matrix, but I have no idea what that cornball shit really means.
They
I'm a
said not
black.
too much on Mo.
Say it again.
They said not too much on Mo.
Not too much on who?
Mo Love. You know how you said she was light skinned or pretty privileged, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, not too much. Oh, no. I wasn't coming at. I'm just saying that. You know what I mean? I appreciate her being here. I'm just saying, that's what it is. But I'll tell you this. No, I don't even know what that means. I'm just a man. I'm a real black man. I'm not none of these cornballs out here. And so when you have this is what you get. This is what masculinity looks like. And so what I've noticed is, y'all, and specifically in our community, we want to dictate what masculinity looks like and what it doesn't. We want selective masculinity. I'll give you an example, cheapo. Women want men, the first thing out of their mouths is, I want a provider. Every time they come up on Kendra G, that's the first thing out of their mouth. Cheapo, let me ask you a question. I don't mean to put you on the spot.
Okay.
What do you think is the first thing that a man should have above all else that he's bringing into your life? What would you say? What would you say?
I mean, I need a man that has integrity.
Okay.
Yeah, that's top for me. Honestly, a man that loves God and is, and I know you have a difference of opinion with that part, but definitely a man that's being led by God. Because I feel like if he's being led by God, he will be able to love me and honor me and provide and all of those things that are under that umbrella as far as a husband. Like, I feel like he will be able to provide those things if he's being led by God.
Okay, but if you could sum it all up in one word, you said integrity, correct?
Yes.
First one. Okay, respectfully, you being correct. The first thing a man should be able to do is bring order. If he's not bringing order, there is no, because here's the thing: if he cannot bring order, and he's not courageous, then all of the other attributes that we name, he can never even use. You see what I'm saying? He can have everything you named, but if he cannot bring order to chaos, that's the number one thing God did before he did anything. Our creator brought what? He brought order. There has to be a way things are done, and our community is out of whack with that. We have men acting like women. We have women acting like men. We have children that are confused, and everybody is losing, and everybody is trying to figure out where they belong.
Right.
I'm often telling you where you belong.
Okay, so you said order, right? So you would you like to expound on how you're like into the whole traditional that look, as far as like wanting a traditional woman, you believe in gender roles, all of those things.
Yes, those things are. It may be 2025 outside that door, but it's 1925 inside this house. I've often said that, right? And what does that mean? That doesn't mean that my woman's opinion. I understand a woman's wisdom is invaluable to a man, and I expressed this too, and I'm gonna say it again. A woman's wisdom to a man is invaluable. She is there to inspire him and to give him wisdom and to nurture him and to give him peace. His job is to provide, protect, maintain, sustain, lead, and guide. These are the things that are essential. And when both are operating in their roles, that's it. I told you this, cheapo, and I'm gonna say this again to y'all, to the chat, so everybody can hear. How many people we got in here, cheapo?
32.
All right, so all of y'all get up under here, you know what I'm saying? And you tell me if I'm wrong. If black men and black women would finally figure it out and stick together, do y'all have any idea we would take over this country? There would be nothing that we could not do with the support of our women. There was nothing. We any industry you name, because we've already done these things. Everything they learned from us. So it's not so what I'm saying is the only thing that's keeping us apart is we have people like Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, that Trump, and these cornball idiot podcasters who hate black women because they've been hurt by one. So now you get up on here and you talk the same stuff that you won't say about no other race of women because you know better, right? And so now everybody's at odds.
Mm-hmm.
If black women says, you know what, I'm following my man, whether he right or wrong, I'm following him. Do you know every other race of women does that? Cheapo, except our women. Every other race of women will follow their men because they understand that's where the safety is. We have to get back to that. And black men have to become better leaders. And the number one thing which brings me to one of my biggest points. Y'all got to take back y'all communities, man. Y'all have to stop letting Asians, Arabs, these Indians, these people come into your neighborhoods. They sap and take your resources. They laugh at you on the way out the back door. They disrespect you. Nobody respects people like that. Stop spending money where people don't respect you. Put your own people in those positions. Then your women can see you building something. They're watching. That's how you get your. If you really want real submission from your women, build your own communities up, dog. And I'm talking specifically to the street niggas. And this is why I'm talking to them, cheapo, because I was on this tip. I remember when I got out of prison. I got out of prison with about 6 other guys. We all got out within a week of each other. And I've been thinking, I said, man, y'all, why don't we do something to really affect our communities? We got these people, these Chaldeans that come over here. Why are we allowing these people to grape us? Why do we allow this? Are we not men? Let's get these people out of here. Now, some people may disagree with my methods. I won't discuss my methods. However, my point is we were doing this stuff anyway, alleged. So why not use it to benefit our community? That's my whole point. Whether you agree or disagree, that's my whole point. Niggas told me, oh man, they cool, man. But you the same guy who I saw one guy throw some hot oatmeal and some baby oil in a guy's face about a poker debt of $6. You tell me that's the principle, but these people come over here and grape us and laugh at us. That's not the principle. And I realized I cornered the street squares. That's when I really truly started to understand how the guys that I was looking up to, how they run it. You don't run your own neighborhood. No, you don't. Because you really ran your own neighborhood, the people that look like you, the people that keep your community going, who you get goods and services from. The people that when Cheapo needs to buy the things that she needs for, you know what I mean, for her health, the care, food, the things that just keep household supplies. She wouldn't have to run Walmart or Target or have to go get her gas from somebody that don't look like her. She can come to her own people. Get up out of my face, man.
Okay, so look, real quick. World Class said nobody will respect order coming from a nigga with no integrity.
Nobody respect order from a nigga with no integrity. World Class. What does integrity? What does integrity mean? Who has integrity? The white man? Who has integrity? Who has integrity? World Class. See, now you're gonna get in trouble. What race of we got 2.5% of wealth in this country. What's your integrity talking about? Look at this. Another cornball. Order a pizza. This is what you get from cornball weak black men. This is what you get from. This is what I mean, cheapo. And this is why I say about 70% of us can't be helped. And that's what I mean by that. They rather make jokes than really recognize that you have people that monopolize your own community, and you wonder why you can't get submission from your women. This is why, jackass. But see, you such a cornball black man who hides behind the end. I'm putting my face out here. You see who I am. I told you what I am. I told you how I'm cut. And I ain't scared about nothing. But you'll run from that black man, but you'll run to a white man in order to get the scraps from his table. You niggas is cowards. And that's why you in the position you in.
Oh, we all know a nigga that run to the white man to get the scraps from his table, but we ain't gonna talk about him right now. Hey, look.
Who? Oh, okay, stop. You almost cheapo, don't start.
Hey, Awesum like JP, y'all. So I ain't gonna mess with him when it comes to JP. Scam likely said traditional is dust.
Hey, listen. I tell you what, black man. I tell you what. Good luck with whatever you do. You know what? I learned because listen, I told Cheapo this. 70% of y'all cannot be saved anyway. You raised by single mothers. You raised in these feminist talking points. You act like broads, and you wonder why your women don't respect you, and you don't get respect in your own communities. This is why everybody laughs at the black man in America. This is what, because instead of trying to listen to understand, instead of trying to listen to get the information, you would rather try to insult me and all I speak about, Cheapo will tell you this on my channel, is black masculinity. I'm trying to lift up black men. The masculinity, self-esteem, and upliftment is my true passion and my true calling. Why? Because in the end, I want my daughter to be safe. And a man raised by you couldn't be with my daughter because she's going to see what masculinity looks like and she's going to understand this guy's a coward.
So we have some people that agree with you. Trucker Yell said, he said, agree, awesome. I feel the same.
Appreciate you, Trucker Yell. Thank you.
T said, yes, we would. We are the chosen. 907 said, agree 100%. Now, Angela said, you
Yes.
sitting there with a child of another nationality.
Angela, I spoke on this, but I'm glad you brought it up. I'm a man. I'll hit just about anything. I've said that. I told Cheapo. Yeah, I say it again, Cheapo. I said it to you, and I'll say it again. I'll hit just about anything. I'll hit just about anything, right?
Man.
With that being said, because Cheapo, I'm not phony, right?
Yeah.
I was messing around with a woman, and I was in West Virginia. There was really no pretty women there was really no pretty black women in West Virginia where I was. I was in there getting money, messing around with a girl. She ends up getting pregnant, and I have to be accountable because that's just what it is. I'm glad my daughter's here because she saved my life. And she was not here, I would not be here because she gave me something to live for. I had nothing that I cared about at that particular point in time. I cared about one thing, well, two things: beating a white man at his own game, and becoming the biggest gangster in the you know what I'm saying in the city. You know, so that was my mindset, right? I hadn't really shaped it past that. So with that being said, I'm glad. And here's the thing: yes, you can speak on that, but my DNA is royal. I don't think that a lot of black men truly understand how royal their DNA is. This is why she's black, right? And so she's my seed. She's absolutely my seed. I'm not taking care of another man's child. This is my seed, and I'm going to take care of my seed. And I'm glad she's here.
And so can you speak on how you said on the Kendra G show how you're looking for a black woman to take care of your daughter? A black like no kids? Yeah.
Great question. I had one chick I was dealing with. She was 26, but once again, she got a little mouthy. Once again, she couldn't correct her mouth, right? And I might have. She saw I was dealing with another girl too, so you know what I mean. There was that. So
you were cheating on her too?
Well, I wouldn't say cheating. I'm a man. You know what I'm saying? I exercise options. I don't really, particularly cheat. That being said, there go my girl. Hey man, I appreciate you being here.
Wait, real quick. Can we use that exercise options? Or women can't say that?
No, because once again, what's required of you is different, cheapo. It just really is. Because here's the thing. I give you an example. What do you call a key that opens every lock?
What do you call it?
A master key. Now, what you call a lock that's opened by every key? A shitty lock. It's the bottom line.
Oh, okay.
So no man wants to be with a loose woman. No man wants to provide and protect. The number one thing I can teach my daughter and give her is great information. At some point in time, she's going to have to make decisions. If she does not protect her virtue, she's going to have problems. It's up to her to protect her virtue. I can't protect like that. At some point in time, she's going to have to make the decision. Mm-hmm. I'm listening.
Coach Ferg said, the fact you sold drugs and created this toxic community of the present, did you go back and apologize to the families you damaged? Hindsight is 2020.
Great question. Great question, Coach. Absolutely not. I would apologize as much as the white man apologized for what he did to our community. I would apologize for as much as when they say cigarettes kill when they put cigarettes kill cause cancer, or when a drunk driver runs a red light and kills 4 people. Like, you know what I mean? So in the end, or the guns that this country continuously produces. Guns, alcohol, and cigarettes have killed more people than drugs ever thought about. Do your research, Coach Ferg. My whole point is, this is not a moral conversation. I want you to know something. I don't deal with right or wrong on my channel. I'll deal with it for the sake of Cheapo's platform. I don't deal with right or wrong. I only deal with what is. The number one reason why black people are at the bottom of the socioeconomic totem pole, and you notice nobody ever mentions that, Cheapo. You notice you don't hear anybody question that because they know that's true. The number one reason is because we're studying playing by a playbook that nobody else plays by. We're trying to win in a way that nobody else is. The rest of the world does not care how they win. They only care about winning. They care as long as they keep us at the bottom. They're okay with whatever happens as long as we keep them niggas in their place. And I'm not comfortable like that. That may be another black man, not this one.
Mr. Fantastic, hey, it's a lot of comments, y'all. Mr. Fantastic said, "Why is he making it about race? Why would integrity be racial?" I don't even know if that was like a long time ago or what.
Mr. Fantastic. Because in the end, when we're talking about integrity, I want you to understand something. That conversation is not a real conversation in this regard. When you're talking about integrity, the only thing that matters is did you win or didn't you? That's all people are looking at. I'll give you an example. Earlier, Chipo, you a lady. I don't know. El Chipo, do you follow football?
Not really, but
okay, good. The Michigan Wolverines won the national championship last year. Their coach Jim Harbaugh had been suspended previously for cheating, and he had to serve another game. He had to serve another suspension. They were hit with all types of fines and so forth and so on. They still won a national championship. Guess what they remembered as? Champions. See, that's my whole point. Only black people worry about the particulars and trying to make things some sort of everybody. You listen, man. If you're not focused on the objective, then you missing the point. And this is why our people are once again at the bottom line because we stay focused on the wrong shit.
My cousin want to know what's in my cup. Actually, guys, this is ginger ale. I didn't want to have alcohol because I needed to be coherent for this, okay? But yes, Gotta Love Score said, Black women find it hard to follow a fool, so build and they will come, and follow the man with gladness and lend a helping hand.
100%. But I will say this, the caveat. How do we define a fool? You know what I'm saying? Like here's the thing. Do you think he's a fool? Or, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, if you handling your business, your opportunities gonna come. Like if you handling your business, opportunities will find a man. Because women like men who handle their business. Women like men who are strong. If you are not a strong man, you're going to these women will destroy you. And if they should, nobody want no weak man. That's just the bottom line.
No, we don't want a weak man. So he's absolutely correct about that. The Moors that invented the world we're using right now created the integrity I'm talking about.
Okay, world class. I listen, because here's the thing. First of all, I get where you're coming from, but here's the thing. Let me ask you a question. What and please jump back in the chat. What has integrity gotten black people? Black people have been the most docile, there is no race of people that are more docile and forgiving and have more integrity than black people. I don't care what anybody says. It's proven we forgive everything. We forgive things that nobody else will forgive. All we've done is tried to acquiesce. So now what? Now drug dealers are the biggest cornballs. It's funny you say that, coach, but do you say that about the white man when he pushing that liquor? Do you say that about when his cigarettes and his out? Let me tell you something about the white man. Let me tell you something about him and his guns. If cocaine and crack, cocaine, if heroin, if meth grew right here, they'd be selling it at the gas stations. Let me tell you that, dog. Let me say it again. Nobody cares about that, man. It's only about the bottom line. Now, I get you don't agree with drug dealing, but let me tell you something. I was selling my drugs to white people. Sure was. Man, let's please. I was bum rushing their ass. You know what I'm saying? Down there. I was known through all out the please. Pennsylvania, Ohio, you know what I'm saying? West Virginia. What?
All right.
So yes, go ahead. My
apologies. Oh no, I'm sorry. I thought you was finishing your statement. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Chico. And like, I just it just really bothers me how we always want to hold each other to a standard that we won't hold our very enemies to. Like these people have like, and I want to say something else, because this really needs to be said to you black men so y'all can really truly get some understanding. The first gangsters were white. That's always been that way. All black men ever wanted to, they were during Prohibition. Who do you think was the Irish, Jewish, and Italian immigrants were gunning each other down? Right? All up until all for about 100 years. Right? And so they were doing this stuff in the consist. All black men ever wanted was a peace. So it's just funny to me how we never hold them to the same standard or to a higher standard when all we try to do was be like them. It's just amazing to me.
So world class came and brought the definition for integrity. It says innocent, blamelessness, chastity, purity, from the Latin, I don't know, soundness, wholeness, completeness, figuratively, purity, correctness, blamelessness.
Yeah, brother. And that and $1.25 to get you a cup of coffee. I don't know what to tell you with that, brother. Here's the thing, man. And I'm not trying to change your view. You see the world how you see it, man. But let me tell you something. This world is shaped by men. It's shaped by masculine men. It's shaped by conquerors. Attila the Hun, Genghis Khan, King Harold Hardrada, Napoleon. The world that we're looking at is shaped like that. If by these men went out here and took what they wanted. If you're not trying to reach out and take something, you ain't talking about nothing. Shout out to bro, you 50 years old, leave that young woman for the young man. Oh, ass nigga won the game. What he talking to somebody? What is who?
I think because you said, I think you have like a 26-year-old woman, and so he pretty much was telling you dang near 50, like leave these young women alone and yeah, leave them to the young men.
Hey, brother. Hey, look here, man. Whatever you say, man. I'm not here.
Shout out to Big Bad. Shout out to Big Bad Bull. Sharing is caring. Please take a moment to share this live stream and support our sister. Thank you.
Shout out to you, Big Bad Bull. I always see Big Bad Bull in different chats. Big Bad Bull. Let me take time out to acknowledge you. Always see you in different chats. You always showing love. You always showing up like a boss. You know what I'm saying? I've peeped that. You know, when I've been able to see different streams, you always support, man. Shout out to Big Bad Bull. Listen, man. Get from behind there.
Shout out to Stefan for the $5 super chat. I appreciate you, Stefan. Listen. So, all right, look. You wanted me to ask, can men be hoes?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Let me say this. Let me say this, Cheapo. This world has continued pumping. No. Okay, go ahead. You want to get out. Don't walk behind there though. This world, men have always dealt with women. Cheapo, from the beginning of time, men who've handled their business have always enjoyed the comforts of women. That's one of the spoils of war. That's when a man is handling his business and doing the things that he's doing that are conducive to productivity.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the things that he's able to enjoy, right? With that being said, no, because once again, like I explained to you previously, a key that's opened by a lot of locks is a shitty lock. No man really wants to be involved in that.
So Coach Ferg said, Ninja's been smoking cigarettes, alcohol, and weed. It only hurts self. Crack, meth, heroin hurts others.
Yeah, man. Hey, look here, man. You sound like a real weak black man, man. And it's really sad because if you don't know how many people are hurt behind these things. Listen, man. Listen, like I said, once again, and I told Cheapo this. A lot of you niggas just can't be helped. A lot of y'all are really, really weak black men, man. And so you would rather be disagreeable. A lot of you niggas is like broads for real. You rather be disagreeable, you know what I'm saying, rather than get the information. I ain't said nothing up here wrong. And yet we still don't have nothing, but you would rather argue with me when all I said was be a man, handle your business, take back your communities, believe in yourself. But you niggas will run from that. You niggas gonna run from that. And that's why we in trouble. But like I say, I'm not in trouble because I'm going to win, and I'm going to push my message on the black men that can be helped because I've seen what's to come. And if you don't agree with that, then that just ain't for you. Go ahead, Cheapo.
So he said, yes, I say it about every race that destroys us. I am in these spaces helping the young men and women get over their pain. So he's out on the front line, helping the community, I guess, rebuild what has been torn down over the years, right? So I know you were talking about like taking back our community, and I know what I was talking about, like from a sense of like stores and like, that standpoint. But what about the other standpoints of like how you press your message to the young men? Because you said your message is for black men, right?
Yes.
So are
Yes.
you outside preaching this to other young men?
No, I've told, like I said, some brothers, you have to catch them when you can. You know what I mean? A lot of times, timing is everything. Like I said, I told you before, and as you know, this El Cheapo, and it's not, it's no cap. My number one priority is making sure she's safe and okay, and I always have her with me whenever we're moving about, throughout the day. So I have to always be conscious of that. But I also, like I told you previously, I've given my time up to teach chess to black boys on Saturdays when I was getting money. I literally would give up my entire Saturdays with my brother, Dr. Jeffrey Cousins, who's a heart surgeon. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Dr. Jeffrey Cousins. That's my man. And I'm still up on them games too. So here we are. Here I am from the street. And here he is, a heart surgeon, and we would literally give up our Saturdays just to be able to show young black men how important it was to be able to use cognitive thinking skills and reasoning skills and not be so emotionally caught up in 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 um in their arguments, and to make sure that their arguments was built on sound principles. That's why you can't crack my foundation. That's why whenever these people are saying anything, cheapo, none of it truly holds any light. None of it truly holds any weight. Shout out to Victoria's one. Yeah, I know she was gonna do that. I absolutely knew she was gonna do that. Shout out to Victoria's one. I'm glad you're here. And
TJ said having multiple women didn't work out for David or Solomon.
Man, listen. I'm not. Listen, man. Dig this here. You want to believe in that book and this, that. Listen, man. Your brothers can do what you want to do. I'm not telling you what to do or don't do. Truth be told, I don't really give a fuck. Because I know a lot of y'all weak anyway, and you don't want nothing no way. You would rather be at the bottom. Y'all like being at the bottom for real. You don't like, y'all niggas want to follow Candace Owens. Y'all like listening to women. Y'all like listening. Black people like to be entertained. I noticed that about us, cheapo. We like bullshit. We don't like real stuff with when it comes to real problem solving. We run from that. Now let me tell you something, cheapo. And this is what I told Kendra. Gizmo, get out of there. She running amok right now. She having a good old time. Give me that. Give me that, pumpkin. Come here. Give it to daddy. Come here. No. No. Stop. Keep on. No. Here. Drink your juice, pumpkin. Okay, Chibo, what was I? What was I saying? Oh, yeah. What I was saying is, let me tell you something, Chibo. Let me tell you how silly our people is. Okay. Now, there was a white man who was from Minnesota. And shout out to that girl Figgy. She was helping me. She found it. This was months ago. This right after I come on Kendra G. I told Kendra, I said, if a white man was doing the very same thing that I was doing, to have my exact same story, his cash app would have been over. They'd have had him on CNN. I said this, right? Let me tell you, I said this. Now, let me tell you what happened. He's a white man with a bunch of tattoos who act black. You know what I mean? They always black till the police come. That's a lot of them wiggers is. They always black. They funny, cheapo. I'm sure you know them. You seen them. They always black till the police come. Everybody black till the police come. And then as soon as the police come, you know what I'm saying? You just a little white boy who misunderstood and, you ain't had nothing to do with it, right? So there it is, right? So with that being said, white man with a baby by a black woman, his baby mama went to jail, and he was in the cash app, and he was begging for money, right? Black women were defending him. They could not wait to defend this white man. They were doing everything. Why don't y'all leave him alone? He doing what he I say, listen, this is why our people are. We are very, very backwards ass people, and that's just the bottom line. If I was a white man doing the very same thing, they would love me. That's just the facts.
So, 907 want to know, how old are you?
I'm 45. 907.
He's 45. The world class said, what's clear is you don't know what integrity is or don't have it. Okay. And is real leaders know we're here because niggas, sorry, Scorpio, I know you don't like me to say that word, so I'm gonna say ninjas have no integrity, not because ninjas don't want to conquer shit.
Let me see. Okay, let me make sure. Okay, let me see.
Here, you can reread it. Go ahead.
Yeah, please. What's clear is you don't know what integrity is or don't have it. And real leaders know. We're here because niggas have no integrity, not because niggas don't want to conquer shit. Yeah, bro, you sound soft. You sound soft. And I'm going to tell you something. Nigga, I've been a warrior. I've been on the front line. I filed law. What have you done? I just named. I filed lawsuits. I fought the police. I've been to the hole for assault and batteries on staff. I've been standing on shit. Like so once again, you just another black man who would rather be combative than really truly get what I'm trying to say. Dog, integrity, dog. Let me tell you something. All that trying to have integrity, nigga, you still got 2.5% of wealth. So go deal with your integrity. You tell me how that integrity has done something for your pockets or done something for your people. You got all this integrity, right? Cheapo. He keep talking about integrity. What the bottom line looking like for the black men in this country? Black men are at the bottom of everything. Our boys can't even read. You niggas don't own shit. You niggas got nothing. But you study talking about integrity. When every other race is lapping your ass. Man, get the fuck up out of your face, man. Get some guts, dog. Get some masculinity. Get some guts. Rethink what you thinking because your position don't work. Niggas done tried it. If you're not trying to take nothing, you're not talking about nothing. People don't respect men who don't handle business. That's facts. People only respect men who are takers. If you don't understand that, you don't understand the world. Women are sitting back waiting to see their men do something, make a stand. Instead, you would rather try to combat me. Man, get the fuck up out of here. How I look, cheapo? Am I killing it?
You look awesome.
Thank you.
You like that? Awesome. Is that your real name?
I did catch that. No, they called me. No, that we had a little crew when I was growing up. You know what I'm saying? That was I have to say that. But that's yes. No. But no, to answer your question directly, no.
Okay. Let's see what they talking about up in
Being
here.
Being a granddad, hard, ain't I? Shout out to Miss Fanta. I don't know. Go ahead.
They said, tell them the truth. Awesome. I'm
see, that's my girl, Victorious. See, here's the thing. Victorious one says things in order to troll me on my channel, but Victorious one is sweet. She's a married black woman. She know I don't play that partner shit, and I told her that too. She ain't got no partner. Her man, her husband is her man, her leader, and we go back and forth by that. But I appreciate that, sister, and I always support black women who support me. My integrity have me here when your daughter is a grandmother, while you have died 30 years before. What? My integrity have me here when your daughter is a grandmother, while you had died 30 years. My nigga.
He said y'all with the Crocs ain't got no integrity.
Say it again. He said y'all wear Crocs. This is facts. Black men. Well, I'm saying. Well, here's the thing. Time for that's not really an integrity issue. That's more lines of you niggas just soft. Like you walk outside with jogging pants and bonnets. I've seen so many black men in jogging pants and bonnets. You niggas.
Hey, now we all know somebody that wear bonnets on their live stream.
Hey, see, stop. See that? See. No, you're not. No.
Hey, this nigga be wearing a bonnet. Hey, you said it. Come on.
No, I'm talking about the guys I see on an all-day basis. Come here, baby. don't even clean up your they don't even yes, man. They don't even.
Oh man. Oh, wait a minute. Oh. I can promise you this kiddo, this world will remember me and they will forget you ever existed. That I promise you.
Hey, bro, you couldn't forget me because you ain't half the man I am, man. You're not half the man I am. I can look at you and tell that you're not half the man I am, and that's okay. Once again, Chico, I told you this. I explained 70% of our people you just cannot help. They're incorrigible. They would rather get into it with me and agree with white talking points. That's just what they would do. You can't help these niggas. So I'm not trying.
So Big Bad Bull said, Brother Awesum is dropping tons of gems tonight. Let's go.
Shout out to Big Bad Bull, man. Shout out to a real black man, man. Shout out to a real masculine man. I done seen him in the chat commenting on multiple different occasions. You know what I'm saying? And that wasn't cap. I just know I've seen him come through. Never had a chance to interact with you, brother. Please make sure please make sure you go over to my channel, man. So you know what I'm saying, we can chop it up. Make sure you subscribe, man. I thank you. Like I said, once again, my channel is for masculine black men. My channel is for masculine black men. My content is for masculine black men because that's how you build communities. How you build communities is with your men. It's with the backing of your men. Your women should be there as a support system. Men have to be on the front lines. I don't like women in any positions of real true danger. Women shouldn't be in positions of authority and combat. Women shouldn't be in positions women shouldn't be in men's places. They shouldn't be. It's not for them. Women shouldn't be in the positions of life and death. That's for men. And I have no problem dying for what I believe in. None whatsoever. None whatsoever. Because in the end, if my sacrifice, it's all for the cause. I was never promised forever anyway. But I'm in great shape. Tell them, Cheapo.
Yeah, he be working out, y'all. He about to go. What? Please don't tell me.
You better meet Cindy. You better meet Cindy. She about 85 pounds. I walk around with this all day. You ain't half the man I am, bro. You ain't half the man I am. Why push my daughter down the street, my nigga? Why push my daughter down the street? I walk around with that. I'm strong as two bulls. And I fight like the devil. You understand me? So I hear a lot of talk, man, and I dress like a man, and I move like a man. Everything about me is masculine. I'm always trying to recognize, stay in your masculinity, stay in a masculine frame. Please, Cheapo.
So can you like give me the difference between masculinity versus toxic masculinity, and which one do you push?
That's a great question. Cheapo, I don't even know what that toxic masculinity shit even mean.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea. I've heard it. I've heard people push it on the internet now because that's become a thing. And people, you got dummies, probably like that cornball who just keep jumping in here. He pushes that too. You know what I mean? Toxic masculinity. You need to worry about. Listen, man, you niggas are soft. And let me tell you something else. There's no such thing as balance. There's something you're always going to lose. Something what's lost in the fire, Cheapo, will be found in the ashes. Let me say that again for that cornball in the back that's always got. So maybe he can get some game from a real nigga tonight. What's lost in the fire will be found in the ashes, nigga.
What's
What that
lost in
means?
the fire will be found in the ashes.
That's
Okay.
facts. That's what you get when you get a man like me. And so what happens is you go through this process, and then I'm gonna be honest with you, Cheapo. There's certain things that you're gonna leave behind as a man. There's certain things you're not gonna be the same when this transformation comes about. I'll give y'all an example. One of my favorite people, my favorite basketball player of all time is Michael Jordan. I ride with the Pistons, the 88, 89 bad boys. That's my squad, right? Bad boys, Pistons. That
Okay.
being said, my favorite player is Mike. With Michael Jordan, for him to be who he was, he had to give up some things. He sacrificed a lot, not only his time and his abilities in order to become who he was, but his relationship with Juanita, right? His wife, his relationship with his children. We see Marcus lame ass, right? You see what I'm saying? We see his lame ass son Marcus and what he's turned into. What I'm saying is, y'all, my whole point is none of us can have it all. You're gonna have to give up things in order to be who you want to be. Excuse me.
Okay, so Gotta Love Score said, interesting. When women give birth, they are the ones who go between life and death. So they are overqualified because a man could never do it. What do you think about that comment?
Okay, say it again, please. My apologies.
It says, when women give birth, they are the ones who go between life and death. So they are overqualified because a man could never do it.
They're overqualified for what? For life?
What?
Well, yes, that's a woman's role, sir. Is that a man or a woman? I want to be respectful.
It's a woman.
Okay, sister, I have the utmost respect for a woman that brings my child into this life, right? I have the utmost respect for that. Let me tell you something. This is why y'all don't hear me talk about my daughter's mother bad, because no matter what she is or isn't, she brought my seed into this world, right? So who am I to dog her now? That's my point. So I have the utmost respect for that. But there's roles that we need to be in. There's roles that we need to be in order to be great. And so therein lies that. Go ahead, Chico, you smiling about something.
Oh no, they just said Chico is hilarious. It's the listening place for me.
Gizmo, no, give me this. No, you're not getting that.
Gizmo. So y'all ain't trying to hit the link. Y'all scared to hit the link and talk to my
hit the link for my sister, man. Y'all quit playing, man.
Yeah, he said hit the link.
He probably from a nigga talk. Let me see. What is it? See, this is the feminine. He probably from a nigga talking with a bent wrist. Yeah, bro. Like I say, once again, a lot of times lions don't concern themselves with the opinions of sheep. This is what the internet brings out. The internet brings out a bunch of cornball men, and I get that. I see Chipo. I want you to know something. I knew this would be my plight. Like, but here's the thing. What I've learned is I couldn't help everybody anyway, right? So I never tried. I didn't come here to save everybody. I didn't come here. I came here to tell my story, right? So that way black men can find strength in it, so that way they can push through hard and difficult times. So that way they can see a man who's not a phony, who's just being himself, you know what I mean? Be able to be exactly who he chooses to be. I didn't pick and choose. I didn't run from nothing, and I take what I want. And so I wanted to show that. So that's why I never really tripped on anything nobody say, because in the end, I always have known that I couldn't help a lot of these weak niggas know
that. Okay. PJ said, I agree with that. Men have their role, women have their roles, and the two shouldn't mix. Everyone has to play their part. Shout out to Coach Ferg in the building. What's up, Ferg?
Coach Ferg, hello.
How y'all doing, man? Can y'all hear me good?
Yes, sir, I can.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, just interesting conversation. You know, I like to give, pushback sometimes when I hear messages from a man about men, and this is a unique space when I hear men sort of talking about the downfalls of men. You got to understand, and I'm sure you've been a part of it, and you spoke about some of your past. This is what men are recovering from. The last 40 years of being pushed to the back, not being around fathers at an early age, and they're recovering from that. So, I think men they're discovering their voice. And I think that's where some people misunderstand it. And I appreciate any man 21 to 41 finding their true self right now. And start looking out for self and building their own, get away from the degenerate behavior that causes you years of, debt, years of pain. And you have to be willing to sort of stand in that fire as a man. We all do stuff, but again, I'll shut up, man. I got a 22-year-old son out here, right? And I've hoped that what he's doing now, he's listened to the things that I've said. He's gotten discipline when he's needed discipline, but just had that everyday interaction, from the same thing I had from my father, has given him the balance and the understanding that life is about what he makes it at this point. It ain't about a woman. It ain't about listening to a dumbass dude out here that barely graduated high school that do not with their life. He has to do it for himself. He has to do it for himself, and he has to appreciate the journey along the way. I may not have given him everything, but hopefully he can puzzle his life going forward together. And that's why I think men are coming to the forefront now. And listen, when the men build their community, they're going to build it with other men. And that's where the women who may fall short, because they're not trying to cooperate and work with young, single, in shape brothers. Because you speaking to the point that you have it going on, where are those women that should be lining up to marry you or just be in your life? Do you see them? Are you just playing the field right now?
Okay, shout out to you, brother. First of all, Coach Ferg, let me thank you for actually having the guts to come up here. You know what I mean? We was interacting, back and forth on the super chat. So it took guts for you to actually come up here and show your face. So let me take time out to acknowledge that. You said a lot, brother. So I'll start to address it. You know what I mean? If I'm missing anything, just kind of fill me in. Shout out to the other panelists as well. Thank you for coming up here. Here's the thing, you know what I'm saying? When you did it, because initially, when you said it seems like you almost basically agreed with me, but then you kind of faded away from it, right? So what's your major? So in order to streamline it and not, because I don't like to talk in circles and I don't want to take up time, frivolous time. Tell me what is exactly your disagreement with me, if there is any, and then I can address that just like that. Let's do that.
I'll say what okay. I do disagree. Then I agree. I
Okay.
disagree in the language used to the men. Right, when you call them men weak, when men are in their growing stage, that's
Yes.
that's a default. That's a deficiency on me. I work with a lot of young men. I worked 4 summers with all these young men, 18 to 21, 24 had felonies. Every last one of them, right? And for me to say that they're weak, even though they may be in the worst part of their life, is a bad message to a young man trying to get to the better space. He may be misinformed. He may be a little bit naive, and he may be afraid.
Yes.
But those are things that have to be talked about. Now, I agree with when you say men should be better. Yes. And this is the thing. Men are getting better. I don't know if you see it. Men are getting better. And think about it. It didn't take you 2 years to get better. When you was 18, you was on some bullshit. Now you're 40. Now the light is coming on. Yes. Young men are jump starting earlier now. These younger brothers, the 40-year-olds, the ones that was brought up in the crack era, yeah, there's a lot of mess out there. But those 24s, 28, 30s, they ain't moving like those brothers no more. They getting it together because the women of their age telling those brothers that they ain't shit. That's what they saying. So they hear it, so they going to be better for that.
Okay, Coach. First of all, I want to say, you know what I'm saying, when you're dealing with this, when I'm saying weak, I don't call a man weak for not knowing. I'll never think that a man is weak because he simply does not know. I'll call a man weak when he tries to challenge my position from a standpoint that has absolutely nothing to do with the facts. I'm a man who deals in facts and logic. I don't care nothing about what you feel. The facts are black people, black boys are at the bottom of the socioeconomic totem pole. That's period. So all that other, and when I'm talking to, just 1 second, Coach, I need to get this out because if I don't, and so if I don't address, so if that's not addressed from a so not only is that not under addressed, we have people that are teaching our children that cannot that are they're trying to rewrite history as we speak. So black men, you seem to be of a more advanced age, Coach. What would you say? I'm 40. So what you coach about 50, 52, 53?
I'm 57 years old,
Okay,
man.
looking good, Coach. My whole
Of
point
course,
to
some
you,
shit.
yeah, my,
My
my whole
jeans.
point, my point, Coach, is that you remember seeing men. You grew up
Yeah.
ready to go to sophisticates. These young boys today are much more effeminate. They are much weaker. And so if we don't begin to address these young brothers and get them and I get what I get you shaking your head, but if we don't address these things from a serious, and brothers like me don't stand on the fight and call and say, hey dog, that's female behavior. You acting like a broad. If we don't begin to call these things out, these things will get more and more prevalent in our community, and we won't ever have a real community.
It ain't the point about calling them out, brother. I'll call it out. But again, you when we speak to brothers in that capacity, how they moving right now, right?
Yes.
We sort of jump 20 years without even acting like that history before they got to that person didn't exist. A lot of young men over the last 35, 40 years, the homes have been in chaos. There's always been, hold up, brother. There's always been single parents, right? There's always been single parents, right? Single mothers of the time, they respected themselves, their house. They took care of brothers. I know families, 4 or 5 dudes, 6 foot tall, mama, 4'2", 115 pounds. Very respectful. Put in the work. You talking of what is true, right? Yes, they read at a rating level. 2 things. One, they never get read to at home. They never get read to at home. I'm sure you read to your daughter. Most fathers, whether he with the mother or not, would read to their child, even if he's an alcoholic. I know alcoholics that are smart in the mud. I know dope heads that are a student all the way through high school, but they have children and they try to get a best to their children. Now, the opportunity, if it was to be aroused, allowed, because one of the quickest way by default, especially going forward, because women, we're seeing that women don't really want their children like that. They don't really love them and engage them, most of them, because we're seeing the reading levels low. There are some great mothers, but those mothers don't get enough accolade and they don't get enough support. Now, and I'm going to shut up after this. One of the by default mechanisms that could change this whole dynamic, and it's going to take some guts on the sisters. When y'all sons get 11 and 12, y'all got to get away from them. We seeing boys coming out wearing flip-flops and everybody, I don't know, man. It got to start, but it has to start with the fathers being allowed to be engaged. So what is
let me stop you right there, Coach. Respect.
It has to be there. It has to be laws change, and the women have to work with the man as far as the laws.
And after Awesum go, we gonna bring Mr. Fantastic in the conversation.
Great idea. Don't nobody allow. I gotta correct you on your word, Coach, respectfully. When you say allow, don't nobody allow me to do nothing. That's one of the things that I think that we have to begin to shift in terms of our mindset, is someone allowing us to do something. We're always working from a deficit as Black people. Our language translates to a deficit. So therefore our actions piggyback that. You know what I'm saying? We always talking. I've heard women say you have to let a man lead. No, you don't let Awesum do nothing. I am who I am. You either accept that or don't. But what you're not gonna do is come over here and tell me you let me. You don't allow me to do an MFing thing. And so what I would, so I just had it to really push that right quick, because I would have forgotten. I just wanted to put that out there. I'll let Mr. Fantastic, if you want to rebut, but I'll let El Cheapo keep this thing on the train.
Shout out to Mr. Fantastic. Come on, what you got? Hey, y'all know I'm new to this whole panel thing, so y'all can help me out.
Just you sit back and relax.
Nah, man. Hey, shout out to El Cheapo. Appreciate you. Shout out to Awesum. Shout out to Coach Ferg. Yeah, man. First off, let me commend you for being a dad, man. Like I say, you know what I mean? Especially, you know, a new dad, up in age, brother. I know your nerves is got to be steel and titanium. But shout out to you for that, first and foremost. Right. But yeah, man, I just think, and I understand the Black male empowerment and being for the Black people. I agree with Coach Ferg, though. When we start using a lot of this inflammatory language, it's hard for people to understand it if and when, and again, not saying you are who you were in your past, but the person that you are in your past matter, the messenger matters, right? So if and when you have the past that you have, and you're being hypercritical of Black men that, or as Coach Ferg said, trying to figure it out here, and you're calling them weak and you're saying all these different things. And although you used, fighting against the system while you're in the system, you being in the system is a problem within itself in the first place for the reasons behind it. So what happens is we get a lot of people that help to destroy the core of the Black man, destroy the image of the Black man, that want to come back and now be hypercritical. And like I said, it just makes a whole bunch of issues and problems, because you're part of you're not you specifically or individually, but that archetype is a big reason and problem as to why the black man is looked at how he is in the white man's thing, as you like to call it, right?
Well, Mr. Fantastic, first of all, I once again another man who actually had the guts to show his face, not like that lame world class in the back. So shout out to you. Here's the issue. I'm a man's man. I don't see. I'm gonna say this, man, and this needs to be said. See, we're looking for flowery language here. This is how. And once again, Mr. Fantastic, I'm speaking and I'm talking. I don't want you to. I'm not. Let me make it clear to the chat.
No, you good, bro. I'm not getting offended. You good.
I want to make it clear for
do your
the
thing.
chat as
No,
well.
do your thing. We good. Do your thing.
Let me finish, brother. Thank you. I'm not speaking to Mr. Fantastic. I'm just speaking just in general. What like you have women, what they want to do is they want you to say things, they want you to say it how they want you to say it in order to make it digestible for them. And the thing is, I'm a man who's been to the bowels of hell and looked Satan in the face. So I don't have to reemerge from that to be anybody else other than who I am. And I'm gonna tell you something else too, Coach Ferg. I would still be on some BS if it wasn't for my daughter. I never thought crime was wrong, and I still don't. This country was built on it. So let me finish. This very country, this soil that we live on, was built off rape, theft, slavery, murder. So don't come to me telling me to change when these people who benefit from it absolutely. Okay, see that? I thought I'd give up. When this country benefits from the very position that we're in, when they created it, now you want me to change. It doesn't work like that, gentlemen. You have to, if you want to allow somebody an opportunity, if you truly want to make a difference, then they need to give out. Listen, they say, I believe that we cannot live amongst these people. I 100% believe that we cannot live amongst these people and get a fair, because their definition of fair or just is not my definition. We need our own community where we can then build with the people that we want to build with. I was telling Chipo previously, like the Amish have, like the Italians have, like other communities have, where you can then build with your own people, where you can teach your own people. But this notion that being a nice guy is somehow going to inject some sort of, all of a sudden somebody's going to say, you know what? They're such great people. They're so nice. Let's just bridge this 2.5% wealth gap that they got between the 84%. Let's just give them 10%. That's just not the way the world works, gentlemen. It's not.
Yeah, no. So I don't. That's not the argument being made, right? And I'm with you. I'm not about speaking softly to men. What I'm saying though is the message, the way that you're saying it, and the person that's saying it. So it's the messenger more so than the delivery of the message is the first and foremost foundation of what the issue and the problem is.
So I shouldn't say, is that what your position is?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
So on top of that, then too, you have a big racial lens that you look at everything from, and I don't even like considering people outside of us. I think you are 1,000% correct, and we need to focus on ourselves. But the problem with the black community is that our focus always seems to drift out to what the other people are doing and what the white folks did in the past and the what's name. Until we build a time machine, none of that's going to change, right? So until we start treating each other with kindness, treating each other with integrity and fairness and so on and so forth, what the white man does is irrelevant for real. Because like you said, you just named it. You literally gave us the game plan. We see what the Italians do. We see what the people from Israel do. We see what the Asians do. They do right by themselves first, and they're so good within themselves, they don't even have to worry about the white man on the outside.
Respectfully, you're wrong. They worry about their community. They understand community. I just when I was working at this place, El Chipo, this just really happened. I thought they were Mexicans, but they weren't. I think they told me they were Panamanians. And she comes to work with her husband. She has a relationship where they come to work together. They work in the back of this restaurant together. And they spoke very little English, but they would then tell me that it is about 14 of them in the same house. And they all work together for a common goal. They all are new. Now, when those same people take the resources that they've been able to save up by working together, and they take these resources and then go on to build something, people will look back and say they got lucky. Somebody gave them something. But in truth, she was there from the beginning with her man working in the back of that chicken spot. And I'll tell you something else too, Mr. Fantastic. I'm just the man to say it because I'm just the man to say it because I can say it because I come from it. See, a lot of us we like things wrapped the way we want things to be given to us the way that we want them given to. But I came from the creator. The creator made me and forged me in fire. So I don't have to bag off nothing. Everything I said I am, everything I do I did, and everything I will do, but that's to come. And so I've never been a guy who ran from anything. So this is why these panels forms really be phony to me, because a lot of times what they come up here, what a lot of black men come up here doing is trying to create a viral moment for themselves. You know what I'm saying? When what you never really want to do is address the systemic issue. See, here's the thing about our people. We end up addressing the cause. We end up addressing the symptoms. I want to address the cause of it. What shaped me? What shaped another man? What shaped the community we live in? Yeah, I was in the streets. But you know what people don't never say? You know what they never want to lift up, Mr. Fantastic? And you did, to your credit, you mentioned it. Do you know how much guts it takes to raise this little girl on my own with no help and never having anybody to lean on? See, I'm not like one of these guys who got a grandma to drop her off for a couple of weeks and I can get ghosts. This is a day in, day out job. It's a grind. It's a fight on a day to day. And so what we like to do is we like to pick and choose in our communities the things that we like and the people that we will support as long as somebody say what we want to hear. I'm not here for nobody to like me. I'm here to change the way it is. That's what I'm here to do. And I'm
I
going
got
to do
you.
that.
Yeah, and I got you. And like I said, it's definitely I've been in your shoes, you know, the single dad thing or whatnot, right? You know what I mean? That's why I wanted to make sure I gave you your flowers for that. But still at the
Did you
same
have
time,
help, brother? Did you have help?
No,
actually, no, I didn't.
no.
So you raised your child from an infant all
Yeah.
Well, no,
alone by
not infant.
yourself?
Well, that's what I'm saying. No, not infant. No. That's one. But I was in the military, so
Age
there were
8
times. Yeah, there
to
were times. There were
22.
times when. Yeah, there were times when I had, you know,
Shout out
them
to you,
by
coach.
myself. So you know what I mean. So again, but it's I don't want to get into that. Like say you're in the early stages, you gotta what I mean. You got I don't know like 17 more years, right?
Now I got a
Um,
whole life. I'm here for, yeah,
what
17
that
almost
too, and
better than me.
that's even better. So that's what I
Yeah.
say. We agree on that also, right? But my thing is still at the end of the day, right? Um, you have to try to shape this world more so for your daughter and your grandkids and your great grandkids and your lineage and like you said, your bloodline more so than again just I think it's the temporary focus of quote
Here's my
unquote.
no.
Go ahead. Oh my
No,
bad.
no,
Oh,
I was speaking,
okay.
brother. Go ahead.
Yeah, cool. I got you. Yeah, then quote unquote the white man, bro. I that's just what I think we and you, again, you're a grown ass man. You're gonna say what you want to say. You can say what you want to say.
Yes.
But I just see the misdirection, man, and a lot of energy being wasted on this whole thing about the white man and what the hell he doing. And actually, I didn't. You said something that I didn't say, but I said right. That's what I said within themselves. So within themselves is a community. So he said the same exact thing that I said. All these other races of people,
Yes.
these minorities of people, they take care of themselves first. That's their community. So what I'm saying is they do not care about the white man. They don't. They literally
No, they
don't.
do. You're wrong. They care about no. Respectfully, this is how I know you're wrong. Because I've
Okay.
been living in Atlanta and I'm sure you brothers are wherever you are. Everybody knows that we own nothing when it comes to the business. I'm talking about the day-to-day business. Where do these people come to get on? So you telling me to not pay that attention when these things absolutely matter because they're eating off people that look like you and I. These resources are being extracted from our communities, which 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 allow people to think and they have the right mindset to disrespect us. And we allow it. Therein lies my biggest issue above all else. Because a man can never truly have submission until he's in control of his. You want submission from women, but you're not in control of your own communities. You have to give your women something to submit to, brother. That's my entire point. That and so when people want to run from that, people want to talk about what the white. See, here's the thing, and this is what I really truly hate about conversations like this. We want to absolve him from everything that he's done. We want to truly give him a pass for all of his indiscretions, while focusing on on me or men who look like me and what
No,
I
man.
do.
Come on, man.
We never truly deal with the
No.
cause of a thing. If we don't address the cause of it, we can never truly get any
Man.
real opportunity for our people. And that's really, and somebody, it's got to be some brothers on the front line. There's all different kinds of brothers.
Brother.
I do understand. Hold on, Coach, and I'm gonna get you in here. I use exactly. I'm gonna pass the mic to respect. I know that there's all kinds of men, gentlemen, that make up this world. There's all, every man doesn't have a warrior spirit. I get that. Every man doesn't want to be on the front line. I talked to one of my homeboys. He said, bro, I don't want to be on the front. I get that. What I am saying is for the brothers that's trying to tell other brothers to not be on the front line, those are the brothers I'm like, man, there's no, you know what I mean? I got an issue with that. Go ahead, Coach, respect.
I mean, I don't know what front line we talking about. I've been standing on the front line. I'm waiting for you young niggas to get up there in the front line and get in front of me. I'm tired of fighting for you young ones. It's your time. And it is what it is, man. You know, I mean, listen, I work with a lot of young people, man, young adults, teenagers, all that. I'm getting every emotion that y'all running from sad and crying and being abused and mentally, physically. I'm seeing it in real time. Been seeing it for the last 20 years. And this is why I say when it comes to, you know, the messaging for both sides, right? Because women say that they are always getting picked on, but we don't pick on y'all. White Zaddy picks on y'all and tell y'all that y'all all of these things that go against y'all true nature. And brothers, listen, we still trying to recover. Like you said, if you did things back in 20 years ago, it's a lot of things that's been destroyed. Most of my adult life, I've seen it. They told my generation 3 out of 4 of us ain't gonna make it. That's what they told Generation X. 3 out of 4 of y'all ain't gonna make it. I've seen brothers no longer here that was protectors, good brothers. I seen mothers, sisters, aunties, everybody on drugs. I seen it. I used to have the kids crying. I had kids born off the shit. And these people are adults now. And yes, it's a lot of things that need to be worked on. But to me, I'm not going to say how men are not doing something. Brothers are getting the message. Brothers are doing it. But brothers understand that the women are not willing to cooperate. They're telling these brothers that you ain't no good. Yeah, they look, hold up, but most of them judging their own family, they uncles, they brothers. Most brothers are doing okay. And I think women, if y'all want a good brother, y'all need to start understanding the reality. Ain't no more keep sweat handouts. Welfare is going away for the poor people. Black people, we in that position. You better get out here and stake your claim in this new America. Because ain't none of y'all leaving America. Y'all gonna be right here. So you better find you a good brother now and build with him and learn how to cook, learn how to rear a child so you can stay at home and let him work and protect it. But if y'all think y'all gonna run around because y'all outnumber us, y'all gonna have to figure it out. Brothers are getting it together. Yes, brothers are getting. They've been under we all been under the democratic feminist mindset for all of your life, all of our life. Ever since they gave us welfare, we've been fucked. I mean, we've been messed up out here. But brothers and sisters are getting it together because everybody turns 40, and when y'all turning 40, y'all starting to wake up, and I'm seeing it. But y'all can't fight with each other. Somebody got to make a deal.
Here's the thing, Coach, and you know, you make something. I'm with you, and then I'm like you know what I'm saying? Because when I want to say this, when you say brothers are getting it together, we have to. It's got to be something tangible. See, here's the thing. We have to bring our people tangible results. Women need to see something. We've been doing too much talk. Let me finish, brother. The problem is that when you don't have the results, I can tell my woman. I'll give you an example, Coach, and I'm sure you're old enough to to respect this. You can walk into your house and you can't say you're the king of the castle if the lights is cut off. You know what I mean? If your woman doesn't have the ability to have her basic necessities met, but you want her to submit, by her being able to have intercourse with you, this is very active submission. She has to open up. Women, us men, we here. Don't take nothing, right? A woman has to be comfortable. How can she be comfortable if the lights, if she worried about somebody going to kick the door in? If she doesn't feel safe in order to nest. So what I'm saying is, it all comes back to masculinity. This is what all of this all shit. And first of all, shout out to Mr. Fantastic. I thought you was putting your hand up. I want to acknowledge Mr. Fantastic. Thank you, brother, for coming up. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to agree on all things. I want to say this to you too. Men unite as allies in a common cause only to dissipate once the crisis is over. We don't have to always agree on everything. That's not the role of men. Men should be able to steel sharpen steel, so I'm okay with that. So I appreciate you for coming up. That being said, Coach, back to this conversation. When we're talking about women allowing or letting, I want you to know that we're giving that, by that very word. What we're doing is we're acquiesce. We're giving power. When you say allow, let, hey, Coach, when you like that's like me saying, hey, Coach, will you let me? Can I get something to eat? Will you give me something to eat? I'm asking. No, I didn't take it. That belongs to you. That's yours, Coach. And that's what I'm saying in terms of the words. I'm just pushing. I'm not pushing back on necessarily what you're saying. I'm just talking about the words because black people, let me are messing us up.
So this is why words are important, right? And so let me clarify, right? Yes. When I say about speaking in that capacity, right? Because you dismiss the other party, right? Okay. You have to think about both parties involved with a child, right? Okay. Meaning that we're not together. Yes. We're not together. Her asset is the child, because by the law, the child is by default 99% of the time going with the mother. Yes. By default. That's part of the law. So if she agrees to that, that's the greatest benefit for the child. Yes. See, but they look at it like letting the man off the hook. No, it alleviates a lot more stress. So she has to agree to that. Now, I can, and I used to work with mothers and fathers in this capacity. Now, you can go ahead and let him spend $15,000 and give to somebody else, or y'all can have that $15,000 where y'all can raise the child together. Both of y'all get taxes together. Both of y'all can go on vacations with the child together, and you can ball out. But most people want to be selfish with the child. And at some point, all children go through their little, their little puberty stage. And a lot of people can't handle that because it reflects on them. So you have to allow a boy, once his scrotum sac separate from his body, once it's sort of separate, that's his little ball sacks, he needs to be around a good man. The best man, whether he's a cheater, whether he drank. Now, if he's out selling drugs in the streets, that's dangerous. But if that dude empty garbage cans every day, if he work on cars, if he just doing something productive in the community, that doesn't mean he's not a good father. Allow him and that son to form that bond so the son can be more confident. The son can grow up and be a great guy. And the women with daughters, they can see those sons being responsible. And then those daughters, because a man has a daughter, he's not going to tell his daughter it's okay to dress with your little bitty everything showing soon as you develop. I'm sure you ain't go. There's outfits you ain't even go discuss with your child. You ain't wearing that shit. Yes, but that comes with that relationship, is what I'm saying. That's why. See, because that's some father work you got to do over. You know what I'm saying? And that's part of the growth process. Is all I'm saying. If they're allowed to build those relationships, and the mothers don't understand how much money they can make by doing it, they take away a lot of money. So.
Coach, I hear what you're saying, and you're not wrong. But here's the issue, and You know, first of all, a lot of these women are too far gone in order to help. That's the, like they've already benefited. The white man, you know what I'm saying? They get the EBT cars, they get the TANF, they get all of the
The women are gone.
You know, they're able to kick it. Allow me to finish. They're able to keep the black man out the house. So a lot of these people you can't help with that message. What I'm telling black men is this: dig this here. I told my 26 when my daughter didn't want to be around me. You know what I said? Forget you too. We didn't talk for years. Let me say this, and I want to say this 100%. I don't deal with nobody that don't respect me. Nobody. So let me say this: black men, coach, and I know I don't have to tell you this. We have to get our prostate checked, which I need to do. Right? We black men are dying from heart disease,
yes,
high blood pressure, diabetes. Yes. And all of this stuff is related to one thing: stress. Because the black man is being put through all kinds of hell in order to be a child, in order to show up for a child, and you think you're going to disrespect me? Let me tell you something. Anybody, and I'm telling any brother, dig this here. If don't nobody respect you, keep it moving.
Keep it moving.
Some more children. Don't take no disrespect from nobody. Let me tell you something, coach. I don't call myself a great father. Other people do. I don't get off into that, whether I'm good or great. That's not for me to quantify. That's not conversation.
That story's still being written. That story's still being written. That's all.
Exactly. So I'm not into that. I do know my daughter's 26 years old. She's married to her child's father. You know what I'm saying? And that's because of me. But I don't get off into, you know what I mean, trying to self congratulations. So with that being said, what I will tell, what is important for me, what is truly important for me is her to understand the role that she is to play. And it is, I do not want my daughter to have an adversarial relationship with the very men that she's going to one day need. It makes no sense to me to tell my daughter to be independent when by the very nature of the world, she's going to have to depend on someone. We weren't made to be alone. So, but you can't help these people, coach. This is why everything comes back to masculinity. That's why I focus on that. That's my primary thing, because once you address your masculinity as a man, once you begin to deal with that, once you begin to really say, you know what, I've been acting like a real woman for the last. Let me stop. Let me begin to galvanize around some masculine principles. Let me set up a set of principles for myself. See, coach, I got a set of principles that I don't break for nobody. The first one, which is to thine own self be true. Then thou can be false to no man.
So let me ask you this, though.
Hold on, coach. I just gave you something. You gotta get that. I said to thine own self be true. Then thou can be false to no man. That's my number one principle for my life. So that's what my life, that's my mortar, that's my brick.
Brother, 100% agree. All brothers and sisters adopt what he just said. Now, the question I want to ask you, right? Because again, let's go back to the young man. He ain't been through the life you done experienced and I done experienced. He ain't had. Well, she's got energy.
Go ahead.
No, but a young man or a young woman haven't been through the life that we have experienced, right? So the mindset that you're speaking of today, did you have that same mindset at 21 or 22?
No, I was still developing it, coach. And
I don't
begrudge nobody for not having, coach. I respectfully, I don't want my argument or my position to be misunderstood. I'm not knocking no young brother for his position at this. I'm only, what I'm addressing is his inability to listen, to get the information from a guy who's literally been through it and who wants to give you the keys to navigate. A wise man learns from mistakes of others, and I've made so many that my goal is to be able to give, because you may not be strong enough to make it through what I made it through. My job is to help, coach.
But I understand that. But
coach, I can't talk over you, coach. I you know what I mean.
But you've been going. Go ahead,
coach. My job, what I'm trying to do, my goal is to be able to help my people get the information so that way they can make better decisions at an earlier age. So we don't disagree. I'm not knocking a brother for not knowing. I'm knocking you when you try to come up to me trying to talk about something that you don't know. That's what I'm knocking you for.
But that's what I'm saying. You can't knock them from, you know what I'm saying? You can't knock them because they don't know it. And you're putting yourself in a position to teach, right? A teacher can never, if you think you can, listen, this is a teacher. Listen, you can never go into a classroom and sit up there in front of all those students and say, y'all don't know shit. You wouldn't be able to teach the smartest kid in that classroom anything, right? Now, what you can do is say, I'll have some information to present, because the way we've been learning is all backwards. It's all backwards. Everything we learned is backwards. However, you've lived through the worst of it. I'm here to say, going forward, we have to take on certain principles, like you said, principles. We have to live by certain values. So having a little bit more self-respect, meaning I no longer wear my pants down below my butt. I no longer just wear t-shirt and tennis shoes every day. Meaning I clean up after myself wherever I go, in my house. Meaning I respect my family that respects me, my friends that respect my journey forward. See, that's and listen, again, everybody's different. And I think what you're doing, it could have value, especially to young men. Dude's 40 years old. You already said, your friend said, shit, I'm good right here. But for younger guys, to say what they can't do, because they've been hearing that shit for all their life, that black men are worse and black men are this. No, it's not really true. But to show them about it, and not about what happened to me, and they'll shut up after this. I never talk to people about what I did in my past. Mm-hmm. Because I know a 22-year-old couldn't live up to nothing I did at 22, and especially at 52. I never bring up that stuff, especially to somebody who don't know and figure it out. But I can say there's a way you can get it, and you must stand on certain things. You must take a journey that you can't avoid. All men must go through similar things, and their stories may turn out different, but there's certain things you have to go through. And you can learn from not going through other people's bullshit. Just because you went through it, don't mean I need to go through it to be a better man. And vice versa. They just have to be able to look at those examples and choose which lane they want to go and follow that path. And when it comes to women, hell yeah. When I show up, I want to be looking good, smelling good, chest out, 6-pack, 8-pack. Everything is rock hard in the right places, especially as a single man. You should always follow that. You working every day, 10 hours a day. Cook for yourself, take care of your hygiene, and then choose a type of woman that's opposite of the women. If you got good women in your family, choose those type of women. If you got the bad women in your family, the ones to be ratchet, choose opposite of that. And it all work out. And vice versa for the women. But y'all can't. It's like the strong, and I shut up, Chibo. Those 22 to 42, that's the best dating time and marriage time in y'all life. That's the best time. Y'all fighting and can't get along, but the kids is fatter, slower, giving up early. Y'all the parents of them. Y'all the parents, so y'all gotta fix this shit. And I'll shut up.
Coach, I'll tell you something. You seem to be a good man, and I can tell that's your heart. I'm just being honest, you know what I'm saying? And your heart's in the right place. One thing about Awesum, I don't give false praise. I don't do sneak disses. I'll say exactly what I mean. And so I have respect for that. But I'm gonna tell you something else. I'm not trying to be a good man. I'm trying to win. And this is I what and any principle that is adverse to me winning, to pulling my people from the bottom of the socioeconomic totem pole. Anything that stands in my way, I got a problem with. And so that's in the end what all of this truly comes back to. This country does not like masculine black men. Let's just be real, y'all. Let's stop playing on this damn live. They like three types of black men. Some type of asshole entertainer who runs, jumps, steps, and fetches, whether he tell jokes, you know what I mean, or does some sort of entertainment for them. LGBT community, or some sort of black guy who just goes along to get along. That's what kinds of black men this country is succinctly responsible for making and also truly comfortable with. They don't like no black man who don't drink, who don't smoke, who's literally defying all of the odds right here in your face in real time. You know what I'm saying? They've been told me I would leave my daughter. They've been told me I couldn't make it. They've been told me that I would be dead. They told me I wouldn't make it out the hole, that I wouldn't get past this attempt, this bank robbery, and you know what I'm saying, they shooting and all these other stuff. They've been counting me out. But see, here's one of my biggest issues, Coach Ferg, El Cheapo, chat. I've been paying for my crimes since 1998. Your president, who sits in the highest seat in government and in power-wise in the world, was convicted of 33 felonies just last year. This is to Mr. Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm speaking this to specifically him. He never took accountability, responsibility, or anything for what he did, yet he still sits in the highest seat in America. You name me a black man who can get away with that. But yet they told me that when you pay your debt to society, you come out clean. You see what a joke it is, Coach Ferg? And this is what I always say. All I'm doing is pulling the curtain back. I'm just saying what a lot of my people either cannot say or won't say. Because I don't have that fear in me of, like, what you gonna do to me? I'm a beast of a man.
I'm talking about the little El Cheapo behind you.
Hey, man, hey, dog. That's your son, Cheapo.
Yeah, hey, what's hey, little Cheapo, you better get you some ham right there, little Cheapo. You better get you some them hams right there.
Hey,
you better
Coach,
get you some ham.
Coach, you like to pull up,
you better get you some ham. That's all. That's
that
old.
Yeah,
I see you.
Got
work on it. Got work on it.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's my son, y'all.
Shout out to the young brother. Cheapo, but like I said, Coach and that have, you know what I mean? Did you have any? Because I know you had a lot, you know what I'm saying?
I did have a lot, and this was amazing, but you know, Gizmo is ready to go, okay? And
I ain't ready to go. No, I'm still cooking.
I know you ain't ready to go, but Gizmo is ready to go. My baby said she hungry. And,
okay, there it is.
So, but I did have somebody hit me up and say, you need to do a part 2. So, I mean, they love you over here, okay? They loving you.
They love who? Coach Ferg?
You.
I'm still loving the conversation.
Well, I appreciate. Okay, well, I appreciate. Shout out to the chat, man. And you ain't. Are you wrapping things up, El Cheapo?
Yeah, I'm actually about to wrap things up. We've been on here for 2 hours and 17 minutes, child.
10 more minutes, El Cheapo. 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
All right, we got 10 more minutes, y'all.
I know I got some questions, Cheapo. Does anybody have anything they want to say, or? I mean, for culture, you know, I mean, I'm not trying to, you know,
they ain't gonna ask me no questions. They hear me say this all the time. Oh, look at that light skin. Yeah.
Cheapo, what you got? What you got in the chat? Like what's the chat looking like? Like I don't.
They've been going ham in the chat. Hold on,
let's been chill. Chat's been pretty chill.
Coach, you got a YouTube channel?
Yeah, man. You know, I'm retired, man. So I YouTube when I want to, wake up too late.
I'm gonna make sure I subscribe.
Yeah, it's Coach Ferg on YouTube, man. You know, I don't fight on my subscribe. And brother, listen, I understand your sentiment, right? And again, man, I got best friends, man, that served 25 years, got 3 felonies, man, even got an escape charge, right?
Yes, sir.
And guess what? After giving him those long conversations over years, man, he ended up being the manager of the city. He got his, turned his life around, man. And and again, man, I'm the generation where they said one out of only 3 out of 4 of us ain't gonna make it.
Yes,
I was the one when they dump them drugs out on them on my generation. But we strong, man. We done. I believe we sort of gotten through the worst of through our history, especially for Black men.
Okay,
I believe. I'm sorry. I'm
oh
sorry,
no,
Chico.
go ahead. No, so I did get a question. So somebody wanted to know. They said he stopped talking to his daughter. I want to know, how did that work out? What was the angle point? Was he trying to make, and did it make a difference in their relationship, or did it do more damage than good?
Great question. That's a wonderful question. Shout out to the chat. When I got out of the joint the second time, I went to the shelter. I had to get on my feet, right? And so I was there about maybe a month and a half. You know what I'm saying? Then I got up. I got real up. And so I started to send my daughter money. You know what I'm saying? And I had 3 rules for her. I made it 3 rules. I said, look here, Pumpkin. Daddy got 3 rules for you, and just do these and you'll be fine. Number 1, listen to Daddy. I know you think Daddy's a little off. You think Daddy's crazy. That's okay. You listen to Daddy anyway, because I have the information that you're gonna need. Number 2, respect your mother. She's a hood rat and she's nothing. We both know that. She knows that. I'm not saying nothing. But in the end,
time out. So you wait. So
yes.
you can call the black baby mama a hood rat, but
yes.
you don't have nothing bad to say about Gizmo mama, the white woman?
We'll get back to that. Don't interrupt me now, Cheapo. I'm gonna get into that. You gonna love that. I have no problem addressing that. Just give me a minute, because I gotta give you the story. But I promise you I'll address that and it'll make sense. So what happened was, I said, just make sure you just listen. You gotta respect her because she's your mother. You don't have to listen to her. Just respect her. And then number 2, 3, bring Daddy some good grades and I'll take care of you, right? So that was so I went to visit her for her 16th birthday. I went to visit her, and I caught the Greyhound up there, and I was gonna take her shopping. You know what I'm saying, for her birthday. And she came to the door. She was in night clothes, but I was surprised. I'm like, hell, she come to find out, y'all. While I was sending her all this money and taking care of her, she had her boyfriend, who's her husband now. Fast forward, he wasn't her husband 10 years ago, and he was spending the night up under the roof of her mother's house while I'm down here risking my life. You know what I'm saying, to make sure they provide. And so this is what I say. This is why I'll always despise her mother, because in the end she set her daughter up to fail. And so I'll always, you let your daughter have sex under your house. We all know we were sneaking. We get that. We all snuck, but our parents didn't condone poor behavior. And so that really bothered me. So that's what really, so that took on a life of its own. And then I found out she was pregnant. And then I said, let me speak to my grandson. And she told me no, or something like that. So we had to see how this goes. I said, who you think you is, little girl? I ain't kissing your ass. Like, I don't give a, like who you think you, I'm a beast of a man. You think your conversation mattered to me? So we didn't speak for years. And then all of a sudden, later on, she was on Facebook. She was complaining about her child's father. And something told me to reach out to my daughter. She was somebody said, reach out to her. Reach out to her. This was in October of last year. I knew she needed me. We had spoken for years. And she said, Daddy, I've been missing you. Everything you said was right. Everything came to pass. I'm going to leave him. Whoop-de-whoop. I said, Pumpkin, what you going to leave him for now? You done had 3 kids with him now. What do you think is out here for you now? So we had long conversations where I listened, and you know what I mean? And then now she will eat out of my hand. She says that other than God, she said she want to be like 2 people, God and her father. And so she ended up getting married on 11/11, and now we have a great relationship. I haven't spoken to her in quite some time because I told her to focus on her husband, focus on the life that you build. I'll see you, but you have a calling now. So yes, but yet it was difficult because there were so many people that were standing in between our relationship. Because I was stoic and serious minded, she saw me be the man, and she saw things come to pass. She remembers me doing things and being there and trying to open up doors for her, and she being rejected, and her mother playing these games. And that's why I don't deal with the. And here's the thing, and to answer your question, Cheapo, the reason I despise my daughter's mother and not Gizmo's mother, because my daughter's mother, this one, Gizmo's mama is sick. Gizmo's mama is a drug addict. Gizmo's mama has issues, mental as well. These things weren't always prevalent, but they became prevalent at a later point. And so for me to try to kick her would be something else. But this chick she literally tried to drag my daughter. See, we don't talk enough about the black women that are jealous of their black daughters that would do anything in order to destroy them. You know what I'm saying? Because they're jealous of their youth and beauty. And that's what happened with and my daughter knows. I'm not telling y'all nothing. Like, I'm not saying anything I have not said to my daughter. I hate her to the day I die. I'll never forgive her. I'll despise her. Listen, if she dies, I'm a dance a jig on her grave.
Can I jump in, man? Let me jump in, man. Let me jump in. And this is where, brother, this is where I totally differ, and I wouldn't recommend this for any man because you spoke on it earlier about stress, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes we self-inflict ourselves, brother. Listen, if you have a baby mama and she moving reckless and she done got on your nerve, listen, let that go. Don't carry that energy of her around with you. Cuss her out. Fight for your baby. Just let your baby know you the daddy. You're going to be there. Get your blood test. Get your DNA. You do whatever you got to do early so you can be there often. You can teach a slow kid how to ride a bike and do all the good kid stuff so they can grow up to be well-rounded and important. But don't carry the frustration of a woman in your heart.
No,
Don't do that.
Coach Ferg. I think you misunderstood. I don't want you to misrepresent me, so I got to cut you
You
off.
say you despise her, so
Yeah,
I just
I
figured
hate her.
this.
No, I hate her. But no,
Yeah,
I
hate
don't.
her. I mean,
Let me,
I wouldn't
Coach.
recommend carrying around hate. Is what
Okay,
I'm
Coach.
saying.
Respectfully, I'm my own man, so I
Yeah,
wouldn't. I wouldn't
you're
carry
your
you what
own
you
man.
carry
But I'm
around.
speaking to other people though. Dog. Don't
Okay,
follow
but
that.
that's fine.
Because
Okay, I'm talking
everybody
about
ain't mentally like you, right? Because
right.
you give credence to a drug head, but then you know what I'm saying.
No.
So they both
See,
are
Coach.
one and the same.
No, Coach. And
Right.
this is why conversations begin to take a turn because we start to try to push
Okay.
things together that don't try to put puzzle pieces together that don't fit. My oldest daughter's mother specifically did whatever she could to destroy our relationship. She did whatever she could in order to keep me away from my daughter. I had to
Yeah.
go to the court. I had to go beg. This is why I said I would never do that. I would never go to courts again. And I told Gizmo's mother that neither. I said, I'm telling you right now, as soon as you try to put me on child support, as soon as you try to do anything like that, you will never see me again. I'm not begging white people to see my kid. I'm not one of them niggas, Coach. I'm not playing that game. So what I'm saying is this. They wasn't there. The court system wasn't there when we made her. We didn't need them then. So now we're going to interject them to set up rules and regulations for the fact that we've had a child. I'm not playing that game. So I said there's 3 rules that in order for me to take care of my child. A, I name my child. I'm a man. I name my seeds. Men, name your seeds. Stop listening to women. Name your seeds. A. B, well, that's not even A. A is she got to pass the blood test. So once you know that's your child, you name your seed, and then C, after you've named your seed, y'all keep it strictly out the courts. I'm not going to court begging because I went through that with my oldest daughter. So I would never ever do that again. So the only reason I don't have respect for my daughter, and I've told her that I hate her guts, but it doesn't hurt me. It's not like something like he holding hurt, he want her. I don't want that too. But I'll never forgive her for what she did to my daughter. I will never ever forgive her for the fact for putting my daughter through what she put her through because there was other situations that I will not speak about because they're very personal. If my daughter wants to speak about that at a later time, at some point in time, we will. But there are things that transpired that I will not speak about just because she wouldn't allow me, once again, we use that word allow, to be in my child's life. Those things would have never happened had her father would have been there. So I'll never forgive that. So that's just for me personally. Now, another guy can hold what he wants, let go. I'm not a forgiving guy, Coach. I don't do forgiveness. That's God's job. My job is to arrange the meet. I don't do forgiveness. That's me.
Okay, so
To another brother, whatever he needs.
Chipo,
so I
forgive us.
got a question. It says, the question is, why do you feel a white woman is more superior than a black one? They said because you said earlier that he don't like talking about the black woman or something to that nature. Then they said that's an excuse because mental illness don't have a face. So who's to say the other girl mama is not dealing with something mentally?
Once again, another slow argument. I literally said from the jump, my daughter's mother is weak. I don't kick people when they're down. She never stopped me from being a father to my daughter. Who got my daughter, Cheapo? Cheapo, raise your hand. Who got my daughter?
Well, we all see that you have Gizmo.
Okay, so who take care of my daughter?
You do.
Okay, have you seen her mother?
Mm-mm.
Okay, am I going to any court system that you know of?
Not as you say on your channel, no.
Okay, so that's the bottom line. I always have respect for her for this point and this point alone. The fact that whatever she is or isn't, she didn't stop me from being a father. If y'all too dumb in the chat to get that, then I can't help you. She didn't stop me from being a father. She didn't poison my daughter against me. She didn't hold her against me. She has not been around. This woman is ill. This woman is hateful. She did whatever she could in order to poison the relationship with my daughter. I love black women and I put black women first. I said that I only truly want to be with a black woman. I just don't play no games with no woman. So it's not me putting her over her. Y'all gotta start to listen, man. Stop listening to respond. Stop being triggered and start listening to hear. I explain and I speak very well.
So they want to know who had her before you were homeless.
Nobody. I had my daughter from the day she was born. From the very first day she came out. From the very first day she came out, y'all. From the very first day. She was born July 6th. She been with me every day since she left the hospital that Monday. Now, I thought her mother was gonna get back. I didn't even know the goal was for her mother to go. I thought I was in the street. I thought I was just gonna keep her long enough for her to get herself together. I had a house that she was gonna move into while I went and handle some other issues that I was dealing with. I was hiding with a baby in the house. And I'm like, where you at? Like, I need you back here. Like, I got stuff I got to do. She was never, ever able to truly recover. So for me to kick her when she down would be unmasculine of me, especially when she didn't do anything besides she's more detrimental to herself than she is me. She didn't try to drag me. She didn't try to keep me from being a father, y'all. So that's what y'all need to understand or don't understand. I don't really give a blank. If you want to be willfully slow, then be willfully slow. If a woman tries to drag me and tries to harm me, try to harm my child, that's different. She's just not around because she's not mentally capable. That's just all that is to it.
Yeah, you can go in the room, child. My baby done fell, child. There's a lot going on in my background.
Okay.
But yeah, so let me see. Let me. All right, so look, the vice president said, let me see, because he had another question real quick. Hold on. All right, you have fun. Be safe, okay?
Be safe, young blood.
Yes, sir.
They said be safe. They said part 2 should be called plucking out the seed of resentment.
Plucking out the seed of resentment.
They say, yeah, let's wrap this up. Awesum looks triggered and the baby is hungry.
No, not triggered, but I have to explain things time for tea. I have to explain. I don't like, see, here's the thing. I don't have a problem with somebody disagreeing with my position. A person has the ability to do that. That's okay, right? Don't willfully misrepresent my position and then try to act like you're standing on something solid. That's my position. I've always said this. I said this on Kendra. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing about El Cheapo, she done fact check. Everything I said is real. I ain't did no capping because I don't have to. I don't care enough about the internet or what people think in order to be anything other than what I am. I'm a masculine man and a beast of one. And I was forged in fire. And I'm proud, you know what I'm saying, to be able to look myself in the mirror. I didn't do nothing. I can't be exposed on social media. I wasn't in jail washing drawers. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't doing nothing that was sinister or
I
foul.
wasn't either, brother.
Well, you wasn't in jail, Coach Ferg. I'm not. Come on, bro.
Exactly. So we.
Coach Ferg, respectfully, I'm not throwing shots at you. I'm just talking about my story, brother.
No,
So what
I
I'm saying,
understand.
I'm
Don't
talking
get.
about me. So in the turn, so I cannot be exposed. Me, awesome. You can't expose me about nothing. So when it comes to these issues, when I'm speaking on them, if you don't agree, that's fine. I don't have a problem disagreeing. Just don't willfully misrepresent my position. Time for tea. That's all.
All right, What We Know podcast said from the book of Umar, Black Queens Forever, Snow Bunnies Never.
Shout out to you, brother.
Said, it seems like Awesum and Coach have the same destination in mind for our community, but taking different routes to get there due to naturally having different frame of references and journeys.
Shout out to Adriana. Maybe there's some sense there. Shout out to you. I just believe, listen, just for me personally, respectfully, listen, it's only one, there's only one way out. That's through. And if and anybody who's not anybody, and I mean this, and this is to anybody listening, anybody not listening, whoever will fall up under this umbrella. If you're not talking about black masculinity and ownership, you ain't talking about shit to me, because I don't want to hear nothing you got to say, because everything begins with that. Everything you want is through that door. And if that ain't the door you trying to talk about going through, you ain't talking about nothing to me. You can't never reach me, and my content ain't for you. You ain't for me, and that's all right.
Adriana said, Awesum speaks in a language and tone to those who is meant to reach, and they can and will understand him and not be offended by it. And the same goes for Coach.
Shout out to you, Adriana. Thank you.
Scam Likely said part 2 should be called When Keeping It Real Goes Dusty.
Yeah.
And then somebody said, I smell regret.
Another 65 black man. Another 65 black man, Coach. At least you man enough to come up here and be a man and have a difference of opinion. I respect you.
Adriana said, we are different instruments, hence we are not meant to sound the same, yet we can still make one sound, one symphony, while contributing to the same goal.
Shout out to you, sister. Shout out to you.
Now here's the thing. Here's the catch-22 with what she said, right?
Stop, pumpkin.
Are y'all willing to be one sound? Right now, y'all got too many voices screaming in the huddle, because the future relies on us being one sound. We're going to have to choose a side, because yes, we've been subjugated by most and any throughout the history of mankind. They slapped us on the back every day, but we here though. We survived that shit. Now, since we modern and we smart, with the slowest reading levels in history, people dropping out, giving up, accepting everything to be less than, who's willing to change that? And those that are willing to change over the next 5 years, by the time the Olympics, Cheapo, listen, I'm going to say this, I'm going to let you get your babies where they got to go. By the time the Olympics get here, the Olympics be in LA in 2028. And that's only like 3 years, 2.5 years. Those they understand would be okay. Those of y'all that don't, the government ain't gonna give y'all no more. The days of Keith Sweat begging and handouts at the bread line are almost over for you folks who don't take life serious from 35 and up, because y'all asses are old too. Y'all better hope y'all get to be old and ugly like me. I wake up at 3 o'clock every day. I done put in my time. Y'all better figure out. Everybody need to change something if y'all want to be better. Salute to the married people, man. Yeah, everybody married. Don't get out here in these pissy streets. It's messy.
Thank you here for the team. Thank you.
Yeah, so listen, those of you that are in the chat and want to subscribe to my boy Awesum's channel, please do so. Here for the tea, drop the link. It'll take you straight to his channel. Let's support him and his content. And we deeply appreciate you for coming and sharing your insight and just, giving us some great content, great conversation.
No.
Huh? Oh,
not talking Gizmo, Tipo, my apologies.
Yeah. Make marriage great again. Now that's a show. Make marriage great again. Mike said Black people have never been on one accord. That's why we at the bottom. Tashay said, "I'm not at the bottom, girl."
Yeah, and Chipo, let me say this. That's that mindset that I'm not at the bottom, that individualism is why we suffer. Because it's not about every community. Yes, you're running an individual race. Yes, but you're running it for the collective of the group. And every other race of people understand this. You doing well does not mean Coach could have $10 million in the bank. But that doesn't mean anything if the people around him the glory of the king is the welfare of his people. How many times I gotta keep telling y'all this stuff? The glory of a king is the welfare of his people. It don't matter about you individually. I do this. This ain't about me. This is about the young black brothers behind me. This is about me putting it on the line for my daughter now. Because somebody gotta stand. Somebody gotta take a stand. Somebody gotta draw a line in the sand. And if it might not be my position to make it, Cheapo, Coach, Chat. Maybe it's not my position to make it. Maybe it's just so some other brother can come through the door. Maybe he take this content 20, 30 years from now and be able to use it. Maybe it's my daughter's husband. Who knows? I don't know. I know I got a role to play. Cheapo hate when I do that.
I do. It's scary, but his baby love it, y'all. All right, so look. Again, thanks, Coach Berg, for coming up. I truly appreciate you. Shout out to Mr. Fantastic for hitting the link. We are waiting on him to do his content in the shelter, okay? Because he said he was going to the shelter to do some content, y'all. And then shout out to my boy Awesum for just, like I said, bringing some great content and great conversation to the channel. This is new for me, guys. You know, I've never done this before, but it was definitely fun. It was definitely interesting, to say the least. And it seems like everybody enjoyed the show. So I don't know if he up for coming back, you know, to have more conversations. You know, we could do that too. Maybe. Hey, we seen JP come in the chat. Maybe next time we could get my boy on the link. Who knows?
Cheapo, yeah. Cheapo, will you mind if I say something?
No, go ahead.
Let me thank El Cheapo. I want y'all to take time out to recognize this sister. I really do, because she did not have to do this, and I don't remember whose idea it was. I see Cheapo just threw it out there one day, but you know, she told me about her apprehension to initially do it. You know what I mean? And I just want to thank her for her time and her platform, and you know what I mean. And a lot of times, you know, we all know that my content is black male masculinity, and it's centered there. I don't have to continue to repeat that, but it's all for the good of the community as a whole. And when black women like her are able to have conversations and not be combative and not be disagreeable for the sake of being disagreeable, and are able to listen and open a perspective, this is how things truly begin to mend. You know what I mean? And people are able to come back. You know what I'm saying? People are able to truly come back. And so I just want to truly thank, you know what I'm saying, shout out to El Cheapo, you know what I'm saying, for having me in the gizmo. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to, you know, the brother Coach Ferg for coming up, having the guts to show up, and the brother Mr. Fantastic having the guts to show up. Doesn't matter whether I agree with everything anybody says. That's not a masculine perspective. I don't roll like that. The only thing that we truly understand as men is, you know what I mean, we should be able to question it. If you're true, and if your thoughts and your positions can hold up under the light, then you have something. If it don't, then you don't. If they can't, then you don't. So that I'll leave y'all with that.
Thank you so much. Can somebody drop Coach Berg link in the chat so those that want to subscribe to him can do so? But yeah, man. So shout out to y'all. I hope everybody has an amazing Saturday night. If y'all going out, because it's only 7:43, and I low-key want to hit the streets, but yeah, my cousin is having a birthday party. That's where my son is going. And so I low-key wanted to go, but I'm gonna let my son have his fun, child. And I'm gonna just find me something to eat and surf these YouTube streets, man. So I'll see y'all around. Share, comment, all that good stuff, y'all. Until the next time, y'all say,
be a man.
Pull up on him about midnight. Pull up on him about midnight. Just pull up on him about midnight.
Right. Yeah, yeah. Pull up
in about 5 hours.
Period. All right, guys. Let me see. How do you end this chat?